Miss late there, just getting a few things together. We are Nerdbauchery, and this is session 5 of the evil team, the Doom of Daggerdale, using all this lovely Dwarven Forge terrain as you see. And you should support their company. They just had a great Kickstarter, Wildlands. It was awesome, man. There's awesome stuff. Also, before we get started, just want to do the little thank a few people, thank our sponsors. All the people that, well, not our sponsors, thank all the subscribers, all the people on Patreon, and of course the viewers, everybody that tunes in and watches us every week. We want to thank you as well. We appreciate every little bit of support we get. It helps us, everything that you do. Also want to thank Wargaming Recon. He's been promoting us. They're really cool. You should check them out. They do a lot of Dwarven Forge openings. So if you want to see how it feels to open up a Dwarven Forge box or talk about the Wargaming stuff, that's really a good podcast that he does. You can also check him out on Facebook. Also want to thank Monkey Paw Clothing. One of our players had sent me a free shirt. I'm not wearing it this week because it's a little bit too cold in my garage this week to wear just that t-shirt. But we do want to thank them. And also want to thank Stat Trackers. They had sent us this lovely box that we have here of Stat Trackers. We use it every week. Actually have them already out, ready to go. And what it is, basically, it's just a great DM resource where you can instantly have on the fly, rather than having to look in the monster's manual or anything like that, and flipping through pages. You have everything you need right here. It is also great for keeping track of turns as well. And I want to go ahead and say that we use 5th edition rules. I converted this adventure over, if this is your first time joining us, from 2nd edition. It originally was a Golden Age era adventure, the Doom of Daggerdale, and we made it over to 5th edition. You can go ahead and purchase that if you're interested. You can just put in chat that you're interested, and JC, our moderator, will go ahead and get you there. Also want to let you know that we will be having another game next Saturday, the 7th at 6 p.m. and that will be the Good Team, and you'll get to see how they go ahead and do everything else. And lastly, before we introduce the players, also want to let you know we do virtual games. If you're interested in hiring us, like if you want to have this for yourself and have us do a private game for you with all this setup and everything, and you can say and do what you want in the private game, it's whatever, just drop us a line in chat, or you can contact us through Facebook or any of our other social sites, and just let us know that you're interested in that, and we can set that up for you. I'm gonna go ahead now, and let me just scroll this out of here. I'm gonna let the players introduce themselves. Let's go ahead and start with Jimmy Headtricks.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Headtricks. I'm from the Underdark. I'm not from this world of the burning sun, but I've been going around with this ragged band of nitwits, and we've been tracking some goblins. We killed some goblins, and now we're trying to find what else is around here. That's me.
All right.
I'm a thief. I'm not a thief. I'm a rogue.
All right. Hey, JC, by the way, could you turn him up just a little bit? He seems a little bit low. And next, we're going to go ahead and have Eric. You want to introduce your character and yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Eric. I play Cutter. He's a wood elf barbarian of the Blood Tree clan. He's the last of his clan, actually. And he suffers no fool, so he doesn't really have much patience for people that give him gruff. He allows a little bit from his group because it's little fun back and forth, but anybody else, they're probably going to get choked out.
Yeah, little quick fun fact. The very first session we had with the evil team, the minute they got to town, Cutter displayed what his personality is going to be by choking out the tavern people. That was just his style. And then, of course, smashing a wolf into pieces. Fun stuff, man, on the evil team.
Baby wolf, too.
Baby wolf, that's right. He killed small dogs. Truly evil. All right, next is Winged, and he's a little bit tired, but go ahead, Winged.
Hi, I'm Winged Horizon, also known as Josh, and I'm playing Lucius Baravon, a high elf necromancy wizard. And I am above most of all this nonsense that we're going through, but I believe in having numbers bring power, and I'll do whatever it takes to get power. So here we go on another adventure as I look for more alchemical ingredients for my crazy experiments.
The dark side, the power. All right. It is now Young. Why don't you go ahead and introduce your character?
Hello, my name is Young. I play Yuri Lee, who is the fallen Azamar paladin, and she seems to have more of a level head compared to some of her other. I'd like to call them adventurers.
All right.
So,
Very political.
but she is certainly ready for another adventure, and ready to show off a little more of her dark side.
Ooh.
Don't let
All
the
right.
smile fool you.
So now it is Rich's turn.
I am Rich. I am playing Selenar. They are a wood elf, cleric of the grave, who, despite their best efforts, is wondering if they're going to be able to keep this party together long enough for them to enact their plans.
Ooh. Oh. The plan. All right. So that is all the characters. Just want to let y'all know I am not in costume yet. If we get 5 subs, I have agreed again with my stepson that I will dress up in the Dungeon Master outfit. Except this time, I'm gonna let the stream pick the song. So whatever the chat, whatever you want me to dance to and sing to in my Dungeon Master 80s cartoon outfit with the wig, I'll do it. We get 5 subs, I'm doing it. I'll do it.
Well, Tony, we've already gotten 2.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
right.
okay, but we
I was
only got
just about to
2.
say that.
You still have to get 3 more. I'm not dancing until there's 5. Then I'll get in the outfit and you will see me get down and get funky to whatever song you want me to sing. I will start karaokeing it. I don't know what pleasure that could possibly bring some sick individuals out there that would want to see me dance around and
It's
sing
called
some
Schadenfreude,
song.
Tony. The
But
pleasure
we
and the
will find
misfortune
out.
of others.
We will. Yes, people. That is what the internet's all about. Watching people embarrass themselves. All right. So the last we left our team, they were an evil team. They were in the woods and they had just come across some bones. You might be able to see those in the shot in the battle, first person view. And the bones they come across, they were able to identify them as cow bones. And they also had found some bear tracks. So we're going to go ahead and jump right back in at that point where they had just found the bones and detected the bear tracks heading north. And I guess we'll start off with whoever y'all can just
Hey
jump
guys,
into our
I think we
team.
should be really, really quiet. I say really loudly.
It's a general
It's
idea.
like some sensible advice. No doubt. This bear is close.
Now, there's definitely
I didn't.
a cave up ahead.
I prefer not to get eaten. Let's go quietly. Perhaps, Cutter, would you like to go ahead and check it out? You did well last time.
Yes, I will lead the group. But yes, we should all be as quiet as possible. That
All right.
includes the noisy paladin, if at all possible.
That would be nice, considering we just had a little fun a few moments ago. Well, last time at least.
I just want to stay alive this time.
No, don't worry. I'm sure you will.
All right.
Perhaps at a price.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Selenar just takes their water skin and takes a long drop.
I will never forget.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
long
forgot about
memories.
what. Hey, stream for the people who are joining us. Selenar and Lucius had the last game Basically, Lucius went down during a fight.
One-shotted.
Yeah, one-shotted. He got one-shotted and went down. And of course,
Like
being
wizards
the
do.
evil party, their cleric decided, for a little while, just didn't feel like healing him. So literally, for like a while, he was just laying there on the ground. He was stable. He was stable, but they didn't bring him up.
Fantasy racism at its highest, right there.
Yeah,
Because
it was quite funny.
Because I'm a
Pragmatically, it was also the right thing to do.
That's true.
To get all the goblins down before getting some vulnerable dude up.
Vulnerable.
Very vulnerable. You
You
were just
walk
literally
into a-
unconscious.
Resemble that remark.
Might I remind Mr. Lucius that he decided to walk into battle without, having proper, I would guess, magical armor? Because he's kind of squishy.
I have mage armor. That's what wizards use.
Yes, and that still managed to get you down, now didn't it?
Damn.
People are so mean here.
Trash talking, man. Evil party is ripping into
I know we
the
were approaching the mouth of the cave.
Yep.
I know we had already rolled for stealth, and I had failed my stealth roll
Yep.
as the rogue, because I'm terrible at being a rogue.
Everybody passed the stealth but the rogue. Irony.
And I think that's where we're coming in.
Okay. So y'all want to just keep walking towards the cave, with the blood outside and the bones?
Indeed.
Stealthing. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm hiding.
Yeah, you feel stealthy. Whether
Yeah,
you are stealthy. That's the next-
I'm doing all the stealth motions.
All right. So
As a side note, I just got a whisper from one of our viewers that said that perhaps Lucius should be paying Selenar a weekly subscription for his healing services.
Ah,
Damn. Dude.
And that's from the chat. That's not.
That's
becoming
late
your-
stage capitalism.
I'm not
at its
becoming your
finest.
only fan.
Even our chat, even the chat is different for the evil team. The good chat's all like, help everybody out, nice. Evil chat's like, destroy, make them pay.
Kill each other. Anarchy. Woo!
Yeah, basically, no mercy. Everybody's gonna die. All right, so I'm gonna put y'all right about here and everything else. Let me actually move you a little bit.
Oh, that bear is so cute in the cave.
What bear? You see a bear?
I can see the bear. Yes.
I see a hairy bear. It was
Oh,
a scary
let me
bear.
move that there. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. All right. So as y'all approach, everybody's feeling stealthy. You're creeping through the woods. But unfortunately, Jimmy Headtricks, the Duergar, for whatever reason, maybe even though it's getting closer to nighttime and everything, it's a little bit dusk. He's not paying attention, and even though y'all stealthily moving through, even though you can barely even hear the wind, that's how quiet you are. Jimmy just decides, for whatever reason, steps on a huge branch and lets out a dwarf fart. And
Yeah,
at that
that's
moment, here's dwarf fart, rips out, and at that moment, you hear. Yeah, who does a better bear sound? My bear sounds sus. And out come rushing at Jimmy Headtricks. And what I'm going to need Jimmy to do is I need you to do a dexterity. Yeah, well, it's running. It's basically barreling in.
Well, yeah, do a dexterity. Just hit, dexterity check. I'll let you know if you passed. All right. You're lucky. Right as the bear is about to pounce, and hit into you, you're able to just deftly jump out of the way of the bear. And now, yeah, just out of the way
As it was trying to knock you down. So apparently the little Duergar was able to make it out, but y'all are still surprised. And Jimmy is kind of laying prone right now because he had to jump down. I'm going to keep the thing standing, but now you're kind of over here and out of the way. Yep, so the bears. And now it's rearing up. Full 10 feet high. This thing is huge, man. Ready to go. All right, so it's gonna go ahead. It's got a surprise, which means it gets advantage this first round. Okay, we're still gonna and it's going to attack. Let's see. Oh, I heard myself. Lonnie, I'm hearing myself, or JC, I'm hearing myself through the mic. That's not good. All right, there we go. All right. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I understand. So it's going to go for, let's see. It's still going to go for Jimmy since it had him down, even though you're able to jump out of the way. It's going to kind of turn and try to go for you. And let's... Yeah, so... But it would have had advantage anyway because it surprised you. So it's going to get this first attack off on you. And then after that, we will roll initiative. So let's see. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry. All right. It goes to give you a bite. And put this on advantage. Let's see. First bite is a 12. Did that hit you? Ooh, okay. So it goes to, it sees that, you've jumped out of the way. It's frustrated, so it whips its head to the right to try to get you and bite at you, and instead it goes for your leg, and even though you're kind of dazed from hitting the ground, being that it didn't knock you down, you're not completely, knocked out. So you're able to quickly kind of pull up your leg to your chest, and it just misses your leg instead of biting it. And you see it actually, the snout goes into the ground, and it was going so hard, it actually kicks up a little bit of grass, a tuft of grass comes up, and it just picks it up, and you see the dirt fall down from its mouth, ready to bite or ready to hit again. Then it goes after you with the... Ooh, 25. That definitely hits. It doesn't hit. 25 doesn't hit. All right. That does 12 slashing damage. All right. So the bear comes along. It goes to swipe down Jimmy. You're able to pull your leg away, but now the claws come down, and you see it rake, just like in that movie, The Revenant. It jumps on top of Jimmy's back, and it's and raking its claws through the flesh. Jimmy's screaming, help me, it's killing me! What? Yeah. There's just a gurgle, and silence. All right, now I already rolled initiative. I had an 11, because I accidentally rolled it first. So let's put that there. Oops, I forgot to put the brown berry in. Let's put him in there. Hold on 1 second, guys. I have to put the brown bear in there. There it goes. There. All right. Well, I use this. I use Stat Tracker for just determining, quickly seeing here's the brown bear Stat Tracker. The audience wants to see I'm using it. You seriously will use them. It's cool. I use that quickly to see abilities and stuff, like the keen smell and all that. And then I use this because I just like quickly hitting the hit points and all that, not having to write anything. It's just quick. But let's go ahead and start. Jimmy Headtricks, what's your initiative? Okay. Cutter, what's yours, buddy? 17. Lucius, what's yours? Woo! Oh, hot fire, baby. Hot fire. Yuri, what's yours? Damn. All these high initiatives.
All right. And Selenar, what is yours, bud? All right, so it looks like almost everybody pretty much goes ahead of me. So that is a good thing. Let me move everybody around here. Yeah, everybody goes. That worked out well for y'all. Everybody goes before I do. So even though you have a person down, yep, you're good. Okay, so the first person is going to be Lucius. Now you've seen your friend. He's on the ground. This Durgar, his flesh is ripped open, blood. It's a horrible scene. Lucius. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So you're just going to hold your turn then? All right. JC is going to move your piece. I think that what he's trying to do is he's going to...
I'm just making it better.
Oh. Well, I'll move everybody's pieces after the turn because I know. Let's see what happens here first. Oh. You was Paul. Oh yeah, for what he did to man, dude. Look what he did to the freaking Jimmy. Not that y'all care, you're evil, so but oh, that's why you just want something for yourself. That's my man. Evil to the max. All right. Yeah, for a minute I was like, wow. All right, so now it's Cutter's turn. Oh, I'm sorry. Yuri had 19. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Yuri, it's your turn. All right. So you're going to go up to the bear and smack it. Go ahead. Smack the bear. No, unfortunately that does not hit. Do you want to describe your miss or do you want me to describe it?
You can describe it. It's okay.
Right. So Yuri, she sees her, once again sees, Jimmy's on the ground. There's blood coming out of his back, pieces of flesh in the bear's paws. Lucius has ran. He's getting ready to do something, and Yuri comes up ready to strike. But unfortunately, in her anger, in her frustration, she just goes to strike down and just misses and shaves a little bit of hair off the back of the wolf because she was going to actually hit it right in its spine to break its back. So unfortunately, that misses. All right.
All right.
Now,
so I'm going to go ahead and do the Toll the Dead. It shows on roll 20 that I'm rolling to attack, but I don't know if I roll to attack for this Toll the Dead. Does anybody in the chat room know? It says
it's a wisdom save.
It says you point at one creature you can see within range, and the sound.
It's a wisdom save.
Yeah, wisdom save.
Yes. So do I roll to attack or no?
No, the creature makes a save.
Okay.
All right, so I have to make a DC.
He's not been hit yet.
Yeah. So nothing hit it yet because she missed. Just to let you know. If
my bad. Okay.
Yeah, she did miss.
It'll just take 5 damage then when it does get hit.
If someone hits it, if I fail the wisdom save.
If anybody hits it, it might just ravage through our entire party untouched.
That would be crazy because the good party killed it like. It was like they were going to say it was too easy, so This is like going totally different. That's what I love about the groups is how different, you know, things seem to sway here. All right.
Yeah, well,
so
to be fair, Tony, when the good party fought, it was a frigging rabbit, so...
A rabbit? Rabbit?
We know you're going easy on them.
Oh, he's joking around. It's like, rabbit? I don't even have a rabbit miniature. I actually thought for a second. I was like, wait a minute, he's a rabbit.
You're a rabbit miniature. You don't have a killer bunny? How can you not have a killer bunny?
Yeah,
What
I know,
is
right?
wrong with
How
you?
am I ever going to have a good, where they cross a bridge and they actually find a cave and they're like, oh, it's just a bunny. It's nothing. Yeah, classic movie. We're not
So
going to
who-
get too
who
far
does
down
that?
that
I've
rabbit.
got the holy hand grenade though, so it's fine.
Oh,
Is it Cutter Rex?
that's a real D&D weapon, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, so it is now it is Cutter's turn.
Okay, so it looks like I'm not engaged with the bear yet. Am I correct?
No, that's right. You are not engaged with the bear.
I'd like to take kind of a semicircle towards the tree that's closest to the bear, which looks like it's the one that's near Headtrix.
All right. I'm going to get up and start.
And then I want to,
I'm listening to you, buddy. Go ahead.
and then I'm going to rage and fire an arrow. Obviously, that will not help my arrow shot, but I just want to make it clear that I'm in rage mode.
So do you
I
want
rolled
to
a
get
hit.
like behind the bear? You want to get kind of like behind him?
Yeah, I'm trying to get. Well, I want to be next to the tree. So as long as I'm out of hand-to-hand range, and by that tree, that's all I want. I'll go and roll a hit,
And then who's this? 60 feet.
and I got it. 18 plus 5, so I got a 23.
Shit, it's right here. Salinar hasn't gotten yet. And you got a what?
20.
Got an 18 plus 5, 23 on roll 20.
We know that hits.
I'll roll damage, d8 plus 3, which is only 5 points.
All right.
So, what was the weapon that you use again, Cutter? You're just a sword, right?
No, it's an elven longbow. Remember, I'm firing from the tree. I want to make sure I have some distance from him.
So you want to? Oh, let me move you back there.
That's right, because you want to be out of hand. Just
I'm moving over by that tree that's kind of near Jimmy Hetrix.
yep, I put you kind of like on a rock here in the tree. Now you're out of hand.
All right. So you go. Cutter decides in his barbarian rage. He puts away his sword. He takes out the bow. You can tell the rage is in his eyes. There's sweat. His muscles are flexing. His veins are popping. He pulls back. You can see how powerful he pulls back this shot, and he lets one go, and the arrow flies through. It literally cuts down a branch as it goes through the tree area and slams right into the hind quarter of the bear in his lower left foreleg. You could see it. It tries to bite at the arrow. It actually breaks it, but it doesn't get it out and ends up just pushing it in a little bit deeper. And now the bear is kind of dragging its leg.
Now it's my turn, and I point at it, and it needs to make a wisdom saving throw of 13.
All right. If this bear passes a wisdom throw, it's going to be the wisest bear in the world.
Smart. What you're saying is he'd be smarter than the average bear?
Well, he did not pass.
He is.
So take 5 more damage of necrotic. You can describe it.
All right. So, right as contact is made with this arrow, you see a dark, kind of wispy, kind of vapory fog come around the area of the wound where the arrow just hit. The bear seems to be surprised at itself. Instead of making a roar, it's like, and you see the flesh begin to blacken and peel and fall off. The bear tries to bite at its leg, and you see more flesh just go into its mouth, and you begin to see the exposed bone under the leg. Ooh. Gotta love that dead flesh necrotic damage. All right, so let's go ahead and so you did 5 damage, and then you did 8, so that's a total of 13 off the bear. How many subs we got? Do I have to dance at the break yet and sing?
Not yet.
I don't
All
believe
right,
so.
all right. I think we gotta get 3 more, and then I have to let the chat choose a song for me to karaoke from the 80s. Personally, I would like to sing "Hungry Like the Wolf" by Duran Duran. If I have to do it, at least let me sing that.
So far, I Need a Hero and Never Ending Story theme have been listed.
Ooh, Never Ending Story theme would be beyond embarrassing. It is now Jimmy Headstrix's turn.
Oh, good. Okay, so where's my death saving throw?
Oh,
Let's try this out. 3. So one failure.
Tabletop Santa, thank you for the 100 bits.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wicked. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tabletop Santa. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate everyone who's already subbed. Even though I haven't mentioned your names yet, we thank everyone that subs and watches this show right now. We've just started out, but, you know, we're hoping to keep this going and get even more tables and make it even bigger. All right, so Jimmy Hedrick, you had failed your saving throw. I mean, your death saving throw.
I am one critical failure away from death.
Ooh,
more blood starts spurting out of my mouth as I cough unconsciously.
Who was it last week? Who was it last week in this group that said they wanted more challenge? The last time we played, someone's like, "Oh, it's been too easy."
I
think it was you.
That was our
It's probably me.
Bet they regret.
I think it was you, Tony.
That's why I'm being targeted.
No, I don't remember
and
who it was.
lied to about the rolls.
No, you see the rolls right in here, right in roll 20.
Yeah, no, I saw them.
Don't cheat in DM.
I don't think so. I didn't think that.
So Jimmy has failed his death saving throw. He's still on the ground. You see that Jimmy, the blood is still kind of like pumping out of the wounds of his back. So it looks like he may still be alive, but his arteries are continuing to push, so it's spurting out his back now. And the blood, it's getting on the face of the bear, and he's licking the blood around his maw. It's a cruel bear.
I am quite tasty.
He likes the dark meat.
Being.
He likes the dark meat, man.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so now it is Selenar. It is their turn, and I got the pronoun right this time.
I see all of this happening, shaking my head. I will use my bonus action to cast Spare the Dying on Jimmy Hedrix.
Okay.
He's spraying, he's not dead yet. Which will stabilize him and make it so he no longer has to make death saving throws.
Oh, that's good.
My browser just crashed, which is weird.
Oh, good.
But I will then step up to the bear, right next to Jimmy. And I will put my hand out to cast Inflict Wounds. As a black energy encompasses my hand, and I reach out. And that is holy shit, that is a 26, which means that's a natural 20 to hit.
I hate you sometimes.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a critical hit.
Yeah, so initially I was going to be doing 3d10 damage.
I think
that
so,
means you get one extra damage.
No, it means I do double the damage. It's 6d10.
Do you have a critical hit chart for this?
Yeah,
so I rolled it up.
That seems like a lot.
Critical hits, you roll double the damage dice.
Yeah, that's what I always played it as.
Well, then yeah,
that's how it's written.
Hey, yeah, I mean go for it then. I'm just man, I'll tell you, these freaking 5th edition, man, they freaking put the hammer down. Because I remember you had that monk rogue. Oh my God, you'd one shot everything. All right.
Well, I'm about to do it again, Tony.
I hate you. Do your 60-10.
Not 60.
Now you're gonna say it's too easy again. You're gonna be
not 60. It's only 52 necrotic damage.
Oh wow.
Well, he's long gone then. All right.
For reals, 52.
52. I rolled a 10, a 9, a 10, a 5, an 8, and a 10.
What?
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Bear just disintegrated.
All right.
I literally just grab it by the face and melt its flesh from its skull.
I don't know about y'all chat, but I think Selenar uses loaded dice. He cheats, but we love him anyway,
literally used the 60. I just had it rolled on Google. I can pull the screenshot up.
No, you cheat. All right, let me describe it. I know you didn't cheat, Rich. I know you, man. I played with you before. All right, so Selenar goes out and they, put their hand on the bear. You see like the hand of Selenar. Darkness seems to come around Selenar for just a moment. The very air itself seems to become heavy around the party as this negative energy is drawn into the hand of Selenar. You see his hand become black. The veins go down his arm into his elbow, up into his neck, and his very eyes become black as he touches the bear, and all that negativity is transferred into the bear. The bear lets out one final and you see all the skin begin to come off the bear, and a green ooze trickle down as the skin actually melts away and seeps off its bones into the ground. All that's left before you is a greenish red puddle and some bones.
Are you kidding me? Are you I can't say that word. Are you freaking kidding me?
So the bear is down.
I look over at Lucius. What's wrong?
Paul! What part of Save the Paul did it requires melting the bear?
Well, the paw is still right there. I just cleaned all the flesh off so it wouldn't rot for you.
Not melted.
Oh, there's a paw left in there. The paws are left.
You want a paw? You give me 5 minutes, I'll get you a paw with polish.
Well, I'm thinking that the paw would have a some kind of alchemical ingredient or power. I'm hoping.
So it's basically a skeleton with shoes on?
Damn you, Raven, and your logic. Stop thinking and using logic.
So pretty much just like the face and neck melted away then, if that's what we're saying.
Yeah, it's gooey, man. It's gooey, it's smelly. It's like, if you watch the nature shows, like I do watching, the zebras get attacked, it looks like a zebra carcass after the lions have had their way with it.
Is there anything that I can... I'm going to go ahead and roll for alchemy or whatever. And let me know if there's anything I can get with the alchemical tools to be able to save from this thing.
Ooh, well, you just rolled an 8. No, you go over there, and all that you can really see is like a hairy paw that has some green goo from what's left of the skin, and a little bit of hair. There's the bear kind of head has been melted down. There's a few teeth, but you don't see anything extreme. Just, a little bit of parts.
By a monstrous grace, I can't believe somebody would do this. Just like this. No respect for the living or the dead.
I only respect those who don't deserve it.
Cutter will step over to this molten bear, kind of look at it kind of sideways, go, and it'll turn and he'll kind of walk his way into the cave.
All right.
Go kill some bear cubs.
Did you step over my unconscious body to do that?
Selenar is actually going to be... Selenar is going to be kneeling down next to Jimmy at this point.
I know the cleric's got you hit tricks.
And extracting money from me?
Yes, actually. He'll reach down. Well, they'll reach down. They'll place their hand on Jimmy's chest, and they'll cast Cure Wounds. And since you are unconscious and I am casting this, you would normally get 1d8 plus 4. So instead, you get an automatic 12.
Oh, neat.
Because of my domain. If I use any type of healing spell on an unconscious creature, they gain the maximum healing from that spell.
Well, I am back at max now. So that's nice.
And I'm just sort of kneeling over you, hands still on your chest.
Open my eyes and kind of prop myself
be
up
50
on my
gold
elbows.
pieces.
I should have been a cleric.
Selenar's healing services cost 50 gold pieces.
Yeah, that's right.
I look down at Jimmy. So, as you saw with our other friend over there, my services are not rendered free.
Well, why do you push your services on people who are unconscious?
Would you have rather I let you die?
Who wouldn't? I don't have 50 gold.
Who said anything about 50? I've been
Did you not say
traveling
that
with you
just
for a
now?
while now. For you, I'll do it 5.
5 gold. I'm trying to extort
5 gold?
from me.
Are you kidding me?
Nothing
I'm
is
sorry,
free
was I
in
talking
life.
to you?
Ah, this group. What did I got myself into?
Take your 5 gold. Leave me alone.
Take the coin, pocket it. There's some fresh bones there if you're interested. I take the 5 gold, pocket it, and step away.
I still have like what is it, like three 5 golds or something? I think I'm good for bones.
Anything in the cave there, Tony?
I was just about to get into that. You get into the cave. All that you see in there, you can go ahead and roll a survival for me if you don't mind.
All of us?
Well, just Cutter. Cutter's
Just
in the
Cutter,
cave.
yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm sorry, I should have been more specific. 87. Holy I'm gonna tell you, I have never seen a survival roll as an 87. That is the best roll I've ever freaking seen in my life.
How about minus 80? I have a 7.
All right. You don't really, you just see more bones in there. You can't really tell what these bones are. They're so jumbled up and broken and cracked. All you know is that the bones outside and the guts look like they had been, cows at one time.
Okay. Back out.
All right. So you're going back out. I'm going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and just ask everybody what they want to do here. I will go one time here. Cutter, what do you want to do?
So I will just tell everyone, say, just a bunch of bones. I don't know why the goblins were coming after this bear. To be eaten.
Just to let you know, it's also now like about 6:30 at night, getting kind of a little bit darker there.
There
I
could
get
be
to stop
something
rolling
more
with
to this.
disadvantage
cave.
then.
There could be something more to this cave than just a few bones.
And if it is starting to get dark and we do have quite a ways to go, it would not be a bad idea for us to take up residence overnight.
I could
Why
We
are
agree
could
we
with
build a
that.
traveling during the
fire,
day
and perhaps
anyway?
Jimmy could cook one of those wolves for us.
They're all cooked already.
Oh, they were. That's right. That's right.
Do you have a
the
microwave
bear
I
won't be
can
needing
warm
the
up
cave
some
now.
meat?
Uh-oh. Everybody got quiet.
Yeah.
I'm just letting y'all RP.
We're over
man.
talking.
Why are we traveling during the day anyways? We should be traveling at night.
What is it called? Mumbling to himself. He's brooding. That's the word. He's brooding.
All right. So what are you? So you're brooding. Lucius is brooding. Cutter had just came out the cave and told everybody what he saw in there. Jimmy is saying he doesn't have any more to cook. And what is and
No,
Selenar?
I have 5 wolves.
Oh, okay. All right. So Jimmy, what did you say? I'm gonna try to just
I
go down.
said,
And make
why
it
are we
easier.
traveling at night when we should be why are we traveling during the day when we should be traveling at night?
Oh, well, of course he's the Dugar. Of course he's gonna watch out
Yeah.
at night. All right, Selenar, what did you want to do?
Well, Jimmy, if we were to rest now, it would be a bit after deep night when we would be traveling again, and we could travel at least partially during the dark hours, which I know you prefer.
I would prefer if we
Selenar,
were always traveling during the nighttime hours.
unfortunately, that doesn't always work for all of us. I see that Cutter leaves out of the cave. I just sort of nod to him. Well, If we need to rest
Not
and
back.
you want to rest, how about we clear out a space in here and make camp for the night? As Selenar makes their way into the cave.
I concur with Celadar.
Makes sense to me. The guy won't be using it anymore.
Exactly. It would be a shame to let it go to waste.
It certainly is. As Yuri just says that and just follows.
I'm starving after that slaughter. Is Jimmy Hedrix, is he still out there?
Yeah, I'm coming in actually.
Well, Jimmy Hedrix, Lucius, if you're with him and away from earshot of Selenar, he goes, This creature needs to be made a lesson of. He cannot keep charging for his services if he wants to be part of a group.
Oh.
I would like to point out that
not-
Selenar has been traveling with Jimmy, Cutter, and Yuri for quite some time.
Is that not the way it's done up here on the surface?
No, it's not. He's taking advantage.
So, if he's taking advantage of us, why don't we just take advantage of him then?
How do you suggest we do that?
Well,
Them.
yes, them. Well,
Perhaps
I took all
during
of
the
those
battle-
hits,
Perhaps during the
so
battle,
I should
we
be
don't have-
reimbursed for that.
Okay. I don't think it's going to be very easy to get reimbursements for that.
Well, if it wasn't me, it would be somebody else, right?
Perhaps we should put him in a situation where he'll need healing.
Them.
Only one of.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Perhaps we'll need to put them in a situation where they need healing, and they'll depend on us. Let's
I
think
think
about
that's a good idea.
Are
Let's
you
think
going
about
to
it.
attack him?
Oh my
No.
god.
Them? Sorry.
No
No.
PvPing without permission.
it. I wouldn't think.
I give full permission.
I wouldn't think.
What? Oh my god, is this session going to turn into my players turning on the evil party turns on each
No,
other?
I'm
and
just
tries to
saying, like,
kill each
in a
other?
situation like this where there's full reason for a character to act out against my character, I give full
Okay.
permission to do so. As
Okay.
long as it enhances
No,
the
I
story.
just thought about perhaps if we're attacked, perhaps we can just take a step back when he steps forward and see how much you can handle. They can handle by themselves.
Out of curiosity, I'm not within earshot of this, am I?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
you're just sitting back on.
No, we're
got your
whispering.
you just got your popcorn
whispering.
and you're just
This is
eating it like,
whispering.
oh yeah, show's about to begin.
This is whispering. This is between him and I.
No, what is Yuri doing for real? What are you actually doing at this moment, Yuri? As you're hearing this,
I would like to think that I'm like watching them whisper to each other, and I'm very quietly just smirking. So you see like an evil smirk on her face, so she's like, "Well, this will be interesting." Not that she's saying that out loud, but she's definitely thinking this is something that'll be interesting that's gonna happen. But she's quietly thinking to herself, "Well, that's one of life's lessons."
all right. So, Lucius is talking to Cutter about attacking.
Oh my god,
Selma.
it seems like
Oh,
the
no, he's
chat's
talking
on
to
my
Jimmy. He's talking to
side.
Jimmy.
Holy
I'm
shit.
I'm sorry, he's talking to Jim. What'd you say?
It looks like the chat's almost on the cleric side.
What? Oh, everybody wants PvP? Okay. If that's it's up to them, guys. This is a sandbox. So if those guys really agree, because I don't want to be like ruin anybody's experience, like, hey, my character got killed. But if both Rich and Lucius want the PvP and they both agree to it, then that's fine. As far as I'm concerned.
Lucius suggested perhaps we just take a step back during a battle and let the cleric stand for themselves.
All right. What is Cutter doing at this moment as he's listening to all this?
Can he hear it? He can hear this?
Yeah, he's outside the cave. Everybody's just, he knows that
Oh, I
they're
thought he went
whispering.
in
and
first.
things look.
No, we're whispering. I don't think everybody can hear.
Oh,
us.
not everybody can hear. Oh, okay. Well, what is
Yeah, it's
Cutter
just-
doing as he's watching
just the two of
everybody
us.
whispering? He's outside the cave then.
He'll kind of put two and two together, but not know what they're saying. He'll have kind of his arms folded, just kind of watching them talk.
Do you got your
He'll
knife?
shrug and yeah.
Are you just sharpening your knife, getting ready to see if you get to have some fun? Like, shh, shh, shh. I want to see.
Just remember, I just said it in the chat as well. Both Cutter and Selenar are wood elves and have shown their distaste of high elves such as Lucius.
Ooh, some serious RPing going on. All right.
Just a nice friendly reminder.
All right. Well, now that we know what everybody's doing, I'm just gonna let y'all RP for a few minutes. You let me know when you're done. I'm about to. Y'all might talk over each other because I mean that's just gonna be the nature of this situation. So I'm just gonna let y'all go. Let me know when you're ready.
Well, Selenar's just in the cave cleaning it out. Do you want me to do an investigation or anything?
Well, you can do a investigation. Give me a perception check, actually.
Perception? I can do that.
Yeah.
That's actually my better roll. I'll take it. That is an 18. 12 plus 6.
Inside, you just see Cutter didn't notice it, his character, but in the corner underneath some like hay, it looks like there's like a small sack.
I'll go over and open it up.
All right. Inside, it looks, as you open up the sack, it looks like it's been sitting here a long, long time, possibly something that belonged to a former adventure. But inside, you see why the bear must have been saving it. It looks like there's a little bit of food stuff, a piece of cheese that is now rotted and molded away. But there are some nuts and stuff in there that looks like, you'd be able to eat those on a trip or something like that. Just a little bit of food stuff in the bag.
Okay. I'll gather all that up, put it off to the side, because I do remember that Cutter has a strange obsession with moldy cheeses.
All right.
And I start clearing away some of the dung and the other refuse on the bottom of the area to have a safe spot to build a fire for the night.
All right.
I think I'll walk in to visit Selenar. And I say, see, Selenar, I think we may have a small problem.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know what they said, but
Ooh. Oh my god. Uh-oh. This is turning into, I tell y'all, man, this is turning into insanity. I mean, it's awesome what y'all are doing on RP level, but man, I'll tell you, this is crazy, man. I can't believe y'all are down to PvP each other. That's crazy. It's awesome for the stream. But wow, man, y'all got some courage. Yeah. Raven.
For some reason it muted the player.
All right. Well, Raven said he's not ready to do that, so if he doesn't want to, there's no PvPing. No PvP.
Hold on.
Extreme dislike.
I'm not too sure what the issue is or what would have changed that.
I can't believe the evil part. This makes sense for an evil party, though. Y'all are degrading into like fighting against each other. Oh my god. I feel like I'm watching an episode of D&D Survivor where like y'all are forming like little like, like, hey, we're gonna, I don't like so and so. It's D&D Survivor, man, right now. It's like everybody's getting their alliances. All right, so Yuri eats popcorn and just watches. Wait, what'd you say, Yuri? Yeah, yeah, and then mop up what's left. So, all right. So at this point, it is. Yeah, that was it. That's the evil stream basically ends with one person from this game survives, and they just killed everybody and took everything. So y'all, it's you're looking tasty, a tasty target to somebody. But let you know, it is getting nighttime. Oh, they still can't hear us yet? Hold on. Let me type something. Okay. How many subs have we got? Do I have to dance? Must I dance tonight? Let's find out. Yeah, we'll hold off. Yeah, that was cool, man. I love that y'all are turning on each other. From an RP aspect and a story aspect, it's awesome. But I just don't want anybody not to have a good time where what happens is somebody's character, something happens, and so it's like, I didn't want that to happen, so. Okay, well, that's cool. I love it. Oh! I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's like he's talking about you. I felt like I was back at school. It's like he's talking about your mama. He's talking about your mama. Let me see if we got 5 subs.
I think so.
There we go.
Sometimes
Testing.
I'm watching it. Sometimes it
I hope
pops up
everybody
little
can hear
shadows,
us now. Hello.
like,
The dream.
Oh, looks
the
like sound's
impossible
working
dream.
now. Okay. All right, we're gonna go back to the cave. They were having a conversation. Selenar and it was Cutter. Cutter was having a conversation. No.
Cutter had just walked into the cave.
Yeah, Cutter
Okay.
just walked in.
So he says, Selenar, I think we have a bit of a problem.
What might that be,
and
Cutter?
Hetrix and Lucian, I don't know what was said, but it's obvious to me they're not too thrilled about the current arrangement. And truth be told, I'd be more than happy to strangle the haughty high elf and drop kick the Durgar off a cliff, but we do need them.
They
should really-
absolutely do serve their purposes, though I would expect nothing less from a haughty high elf and a rock-dwelling dwarf such as him.
Yes, they are turds, to be sure, but I don't think this is going to work. There will be a time when we will need them. A well-placed spell or a backstab. There might be other ways to do this. We should really save our energies for worse of the enemies.
Well, here's the thing, Cutter, and this is between you and I. I healed each of them, yes?
Indeed.
I then asked for payment after the fact, yes?
That is their problem, yes.
Nobody said they had to pay. They gave me the
Oh
money of
my
their own
God.
free will.
Oh my god.
Well, I will.
If I'm going to use my wiles to get over on those that are a bit slower than us, There's nothing wrong with that, surely.
Well, I just think it's gonna come back to bite you in your elven arse, but who am I to say? Just don't try charging me.
Well, I wouldn't put it past you to put an axe in my back if I were to turn on you. By the way, I found this, and I toss him the hunk of moldy cheese.
Sniff at it.
I love that
also,
And I
cutlet.
toss it.
Since you've been so kind as to come and let me know what's going on with our friends out there, perhaps I was going to wait, but we're camping for the night. It's going to be a quiet one. I figured you've earned this at this point. And I pull one of the bottles of elven wine that I had bought at the tavern out of my bag and hand it over to Cutter.
Oh, his eyes get big. His demeanor completely changes, and he slaps a hand on his back, and he goes, "Ha!" He says, "Wood elf friend," and he snatches it before he can change his mind. Okay, we can cut to the other guys now.
I have finished chopping up one of the wolves, and have given some meat to Lucius, and have like gestured Yuri over, but it seems that she's dropped from chat. But anyways, I've chopped up two of the wolves, I'll say, so we can
Welcome back,
have
Yuri.
a hearty meal.
I'm back.
There you are.
Oops.
I've just gestured you over as I've just finished cutting up two of the wolves, and offering like a big leg to you.
Oh, thank you.
Tasty leg.
She tries to eat delicately as she's just hungry. So delicacy is gone, but you'll see her disappear. You'll see her like cover her face as she's eating, and then proceed to look like she's perfectly pristine 2 seconds after.
Yeah, of course. As you do. But I'll gather up all the carcass bits, the butchered wolf, and bring them in the cave.
All right.
As well as dragging the other wolf bodies that have not been butchered.
Around that time, Selenar would have had the fire started.
All right. So you
Down
camp.
some wolf meat.
Yeah, I've thrown the butchered stuff on the ground by the fire, and the other three have tucked away in the back of the cave.
All right. So it's cooking. You got everything's cooking. Everybody's plotting.
It's already cooked. It's like fall off the bone cooked. It's good.
Oh, it's that. Oh man, you must really be an expert. I should make you roll for sleight of hand on that to see how good you cook.
I cooked it like at our last resting place.
Oh, okay. So it's
Just
like
after
beef
the
jerky
battle.
now. It's like jerky. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So
I
everybody's.
guess it's a bit dry.
Who
Lucius
is going to take?
investigate,
Oh, go ahead.
Lucius is going to look around the cave to see if there's any kind of any caves that go, like if there's any openings inside the cave that will go further, if it's a small cave, if there's any danger, pretty much.
Okay. Go ahead and go in there and roll me an investigation check.
I rolled a 23.
Okay. It looks like from your perception, you go to the back of the cave. Now, of course, because of your heritage, you can see a little bit better in the dark. So you're running your hands across the wall. You're looking for any imperfections or, indentations that might give away the fact that this is some kind of a wall that might lead to something else, or maybe there's another a further way to get in, a hole that you just didn't notice. But nope, as you thoroughly examine the wall, you don't notice anything else in there. It just looks to be like a solid cave wall.
All right, he's going to come in and take a short rest, so he can, during that short rest, he can get his spell slot back.
All right. Who is going to? Is anybody going to take watch? What's going on? I'll start asking everybody, so nobody's talking over each other at this point. Now that the RPing is a little bit done. Let's start. Lucius, you just said you're going to be at the back hanging out. Yuri, what are you going to do? Because now it's like around, you've been talking about another half hour's gone by, about 7 o'clock now. Sun is down.
She's going to kind of stay towards like the middle of everyone in the group, so she's gonna stay smack dab between both everyone in the group because she rather wants to watch the show and see how this ends up.
Right.
All right.
I turn to the group and say, I can take first watch.
Okay, so Jimmy's taking first watch.
I love when the sun goes down.
Lucius can take the first watch with him if you want, because the short rest. For a short rest, he's just sitting around. He doesn't have to do much when he's doing the short rest, I believe. So he's able to watch at the same time.
All right, so Cutter, what are you going to do then?
I think we're taking a long rest, though, right?
Oh,
Yes.
So
In that case, yeah, he can still. He's an elf. He doesn't sleep.
All right.
So Cutter needs to take a long rest to get his 2 rages back, but I'm more than happy to and would probably want to do watch at some point.
I can take the first 2 watches.
All right, Selenar, what do you want to do?
I will take my 4 hours of rest.
All right. So it is Jimmy Hedricks and Lucius.
So let me.
Yeah, if Lucius is taking the first 4 hours, I'm going to stay up for like 2 hours with him.
And during the second 4 hours, or actually during the first 4 hours, I'm gonna do a casting time. I'm gonna do a casting while I'm watching, of course, if that's possible. It's a 1 hour casting time, and I'm gonna find a familiar.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna go to like on top of the cave entrance and perch myself there, and just keep an eye out for any small animals that might be coming, so I can point it out to Lucius.
All right.
And I'm going to get a poisonous. I think. Do I? I get to choose. Okay, I'm going to choose a poisonous snake.
You're getting the poisonous snake?
Yes.
It automatically comes to you?
Appears next to him, and either takes on a fiendish or celestial view.
To show you how prepared I am, that I actually had a feeling that you would pick a snake. I want you to see how quick I put it on the board.
Well, he's an elf, isn't he?
That's how well I know my players. I knew
I'm impressed.
I had the snake mini ready to go for you.
Good thing I didn't choose a hawk.
No, I'm lying. I wasn't prepared. I just quickly was able to grab the snake mini. So,
Never reveal your secret.
but that would have been awesome if I'd be like, damn, man, Tony knows his players. What? All right, so Cutter is hanging in the cave. Everybody's out there. All right, let me go ahead and. All right, so on the first watch, nothing really happens. You know, the trees, rustle, the wind blows. You hear a little that, nice little night going by. It's now about 11 o'clock for the first 4 hours have gone by. Everybody else is sleeping at this point. So it's just Jimmy, let me ask you what you're going to do first, since you're still awake.
Yeah, I was gonna stay up for the first couple hours with Lucius because he was gonna take the first 4 hours, and I was basically playing with the snake a little bit, and then head to bed.
Okay, so you're asleep. So you're still sleeping. All right, so we know that. We'll just go to Lucius. Lucius, what do you want to do, bud? Since you're the only one awake now.
For the first hour, I just made the snake, and then I tell the snake, now you watch that greedy wood elf. You watch him good. I want you to go slither on over there, and when he wakes up, I want him to find you, And I think this the snake. It can't die if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it absolutely can.
Oh, let me get this straight. You're
If
sending.
it is on, you can summon
Not
it to
kill,
a
not
pocket
attack.
dimension.
I want him to wake up next to it. Not to attack, to wake up next to it.
Right. So
I want him
you're
to find his. I want him to find his poison snake, but I believe I thought it was something that like, couldn't be killed because it would just disappear as a what do you call it?
Oh, when it dies, it goes back to the dimension that it came from, and you have to cast the spell to summon it again.
Okay.
And that costs 25 gold of incense and charcoals.
ooh. Oh, that's costly.
In that case,
Wait,
yeah.
is it
tingle-
like
it
it
tingles
burns
you.
it all, or you just have
It's
like have to hold
consumed.
it?
Tingle.
No, it's
Okay.
consumed each casting.
All right.
So
Not
are you sending it where it kind of goes towards his sleeping bag, like into his bag? What are you
Change my
doing?
mind. I don't want him to kill it right away because he would do it.
Of course he would. Of course he would.
Anybody would. Yeah, I'm gonna have it scissored around me and in a kind of a protective way when I do decide to meditate. But for now, I'm just watching and being aware of what's happening outside the cave.
All right. So
And
you
just-
got your snake familiar that's right next to you. You're the only
What else, pretty much.
You're the only one out there. Everyone else is asleep. Okay, we'll just say now 4 hours have gone by. The first watch is over. Who's taking? You said, Lucius, you were going to take another watch. You said as well.
Well, you can only take 2 hours of a watch each time.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
thought it was
took-
4. I used to do 4 hours, like 4 hours and one watch, 2 hours.
Yeah, a long rest can consist of 2 hours of light activity, such as keeping watch.
That does. Okay, that's fine. I'll do 2 hours. 2 hour
Rest.
watches. That doesn't make it doesn't change anything. All right. So who's going for the next watch?
I'm down.
Who? I'm sorry.
Cutter.
Okay, so Cutter's gonna go out there and hang out.
At which point, I think Yuri will be resting because you need 8 hours of rest, correct?
That is correct. I
6
need
hours of
8
sleep.
That is correct.
So after this watch, you'll be able to wake up.
Cutter with the
Yep.
brand new mini, with his brand new mini from Hero Forge out there.
How does it look, by the way?
What did you say, buddy?
How does it look?
Looks good, man. Looks cool. Here, let me bring it up to the camera so everybody might be able to see.
Oh, and Lucius, just to clarify, it is not 25 gold per casting of Find
10
Familiar.
gold.
It's 10 gold.
Brand new Hero Forge mini.
That's a
So you're out
little
there
more
with-
reasonable.
So you're out there with Lucius and his snake.
Everybody else is sleeping in the cave. Let's roll here because it's the next.
And when we wake up, Lucius, you did not have your snake come over to my sleeping bag, correct?
That's correct.
Ah,
It's coiled around me protectively, and it kind of like glows a little bit as phantasmal, kind of in the phantasmal way it is, and I'm guessing you would notice it.
all right.
It's,
So there's a
it's your new
snake
belt.
around you, so yeah.
Hey guys, give me 30 seconds or 1 minute, okay? Just 1
Yeah,
minute.
sure.
I'll be right back.
To all.
All right. I need to.
I guess while I was playing with the snake, Lucius, we were probably talking about what we were talking about before,
Probably.
and I would probably have stated that I'm kind of reluctant to elevate the tension in the party, even though someone else is obviously causing it. Because this party is sort of my key to
Survival.
to success up here in the overland, and I'm looking to kind of blend in with them.
I understand that. You're doing quite a good job.
So yeah, guys, if you look in the chat, you will actually see all of our social media accounts that you can access. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can follow us here on Twitch. You can become a patron for us on Patreon. And if you subscribe to us, we only need 3 more people to subscribe to the stream tonight for Tony to dress up in his full Dungeon Master costume and sing and dance for you guys to a song of your choosing. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Get active in the chat. Let us know what more you want to see. We're always watching the chat to sort of pander to you guys because we're doing this for you. So if there's something you see, okay, that just threw me off. I just looked at the users in chat, and apparently we have someone that's just named Feet. Well, welcome, Feet.
Perfect. I love that.
I've not seen you here before. I have not seen
That's awesome.
Nascat V. I've not seen THX or Violin Tides before, though I do know who you are. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying. And yeah, so do you guys want to see the party go at each other's throats on the side of a mountain where we could all die? Or do you want us to mend our fences and work together like one big happy dysfunctional family? What do you guys want? Let us know.
Also, can I say that we have a new YouTube channel in case you want to catch all of the other fun stuff we've done prior to this. You can go on. You guys can. It's the same. I believe it's the same.
Sorry
name
about
as
that, guys. JC has just let me know that I should have said I was going take a bathroom break there. It's just unprofessional for me to just leave for a minute. So I'm sorry, stream, if I was unprofessional.
You let us know that you were stepping away for a moment. That's absolutely fine.
That's what I said. I was stepping away, but my stepson makes on the money. He stays on me to do the right thing. That's so
yeah,
he's good
more
at
than us.
Also,
Let your conscience
I right before you had returned, I had asked the chat if they want to actually see us go at each other's throats here on the side of the mountain,
of course
or
they
try
said
to
yes.
mend fences. And we got what would evil do? We want you to do what your characters will do. Why mend stuff? Discord is so much more fun.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I don't know if you needed to explain why you left.
That's Amber. Nos of Trades, Amber. Hey, what's up, Amber? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but it's up to y'all, man. But right now, the second watch, nothing happened. The trees blew, the wind blew, the trees rustled, blah, blah, blah. So now another 2 hours have gone by. It is now about, it's about 12 midnight now.
So there's about 2 more hours remaining.
So who is going up for the next watch?
I think that was Cutter, wasn't it? Oh no, after Cutter.
Yep.
It would be Selenar.
All right, so Selenar's going up. And Lucius, are you going to back in the cave, or are you hanging outside with your pet and your snake?
Lucius is going to relax, going back into the cave with the snake around by his side.
Azamar is falling, literally falling. You're back in the cave. We'll put the snake kind of hanging out right here. Selenar's right here. Cutter's back in the cave.
Poison snake ready?
You're out there, kind of hanging out outside, watching. All right.
Let's do a little roll here.
Question for you, just a technical thing.
Okay, go ahead with your question first.
Did I need to spend my gold pieces, or is that part of my pouch?
No, any gold piece component is required outside of the component pouch.
So I need to pay 10 pieces, rest?
It costs 10 gold pieces of components.
Okay.
The rule of thumb with the component pouch is you're assumed to have everything you need in the component pouch that costs less than a gold piece. If there's a gold piece equivalent next to the components of your spell, you need to have that separate from the pouch.
Okay.
All right.
I know, YKK. It should be called the rule of wrist. You can't do much with this.
Rich, what is your passive perception?
700.
No.
My passive perception?
Well, yeah, because you're on watch, so obviously you're kind of like paying attention.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out, and it's just the standard.
Passive, so your passive perception, yeah,
would be a 16.
Ooh, you are very, very lucky. Okay. As Rich is standing out there, it's like midnight. All of a sudden he hears, like, he's surprised. Not even really hears. At the corner of his eye, in a glint of the moonlight, his elven eyes seem to catch like a corner, like a triangular edge of a shape, and then all at once. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, Rich. I made a mistake. Roll it again, because it's actually with disadvantage. I'm sorry. Here, I'll put it. So you see, I'm not kidding with you either. I put it in the chat, see, so I'm not lying to you.
Oh, because it's dark. But I mean, my passive is still a 16.
All right. Well, if your passive is still a 16,
16 all the time.
then you know what? I'm gonna give it to you still, because that's so good. I'm gonna give it to you, even though it should be. All right.
No
Because
surprise.
If you had me rolling, if you want me to roll at disadvantage, I'll do that.
You know what? That's what you're supposed to do. Let's do that, because I made a mistake, chat. I forgot one of the creature's abilities is they have to roll a perception with disadvantage. So go ahead and roll a perception for me with disadvantage.
Okay.
For my dumb
Oh, that's a
DM
19.
mistake. Oh, well then there you go. So no matter what, you passed. If you that was with disadvantage, you rolled a 19?
Yeah, the higher of the rolls was a natural 20, 26.
All right, well then you're good to go. All right.
So it was a 13 plus 6.
Same perception. You see this huge kind of bat come swooping down just in time, so you're not surprised. It comes right on you, and what it does is the first thing it does is it just lets out this scream. It doesn't really attack. It just like a screech. And what I need you to do, if you can see the chat, it tells you there. I need you to make, because you're close. It's not your party members didn't hear. You know, they're not so close. They're within 20 feet away. And roll a Constitution save for me. Just roll a con check.
Rolling a con check?
Yeah, Constitution saving throw. There's this scream, paralyzing screech.
Oh, the scream. Oh no. Oh god, Tony, I know what this is.
No, you don't, because this monster doesn't exist in 5th edition. I had to convert it from 2nd edition rules, since this is a 2nd edition module. So every person in the chat has never seen this monster before, unless they played 2nd edition.
That's a 9.
Okay, that does not pass. So let me read to you what it does. A Mobat can release a screech that causes a giant, such great pain that victims seek to cover their ears rather than fight, unless a Constitution throw DC 14 is made. The screech is always used if prey resist and is effective in a 20-foot radius about the Mobat. So you're right now, your ears, it just hurt your ears. They actually start to bleed from the pain, and you have to actually take one hand to cover your ears. So now when you fight and attack, because you're just trying to cover your ears from this thing that's screaming, you have to roll with disadvantage for the attack. So let's go ahead. Do you want to do anything right now, Rich? Or Selenar, do they want to do anything? Does Selenar want to do anything?
Well, shut up, Knighthood. Jesus.
Now and just to let you know, the party, I should have mentioned this, y'all didn't get affected from the pain of that screech, but you did hear. So let's go ahead and have y'all roll. Just roll me a standard D20. Anyone who rolls 10 or above heard that scream in the distance, that Mobat screech. And they woke up.
I got a 6.
Sorry, say that again. I was paying attention to the chat.
Cutter was drunk. He was sleeping.
Yep, probably.
Yep, drunk again.
Thanks, Eleanor.
Am I rolling
Lucius
perception?
woke up.
And Yuri woke up because she got a natural 20.
Oh, so Yuri's jumping up to attention. Lucius is up to attention.
Sorry, was that a perception check?
No, just a straight die 20. Whoever 10 or above and you wake up. You heard this.
18.
Okay, so everybody but Cutter. Cutter apparently was so drunk again, the barbarian, and tired from raging that he just didn't even hear that. He's still knocked out, even though the Mobat did that loud screech. But y'all don't have to do the con save because you weren't within the 20 foot at that time. All right, so I'm going to put the Mobat on the table.
Should we, at this point, should we take a short rest? Not a rest, like for our players, like a short break.
Yeah, I actually would appreciate that.
You know what? That's a good idea. I should have did that, chat. I'm sorry. It's 7:30 exactly. So let's go ahead right before this battle begins. Let's take a 5-minute break. I'm going to go ahead and just talk to the chat here. Let me switch over while y'all are gone.
Cool.
In the
I'm gonna refresh
meantime,
my
if we've
drink.
gotten 5 subs tonight, I don't know. I haven't been counting, but if we did, I will keep my word. I will go put on my Dungeon Master 80s cartoon outfit, complete with the wig, and I will dance and I will sing a song of the chat's choice, no matter how embarrassing and humiliating it is. That they will certainly record, because the last time I did it, people did record, and it is now forever on the internet. And I was singing Girls Just Want to Have Fun last time because we had gotten 5 subs. So I went and sang. But anybody have any questions about what we do? I had mentioned before, we also, if you have any interest in a private game, anybody out there, if you want to hire us for a game like this virtually, that you can just get online. You can check us out on our Facebook page, contact us there for a game. We're also on lookingforgm.com and also startplayinggames.com. There are also all professional GM sites. So if you want to check us out there and maybe sign up for a game, you can do that as well. We are almost, looks like, very close to done with chapter 1 on both the good team and here the evil team as well. The good team's already at level 2. They leveled up last week. These guys will probably be leveling up, I'm thinking, probably tonight or early next week. I think there should be 2 Mobats. Dude, you just want people to die. You're cruel, man. That's cruelty. They almost had somebody go down. Don't worry, that it ramps up the difficulty in chapter 2, because I know that someone had mentioned they wanted a little bit more pain, which I found kind of funny. But in chapter 2, you will see a lot more battling. Thank you to all the people that have tuned in. We got a lot of people in here right now, good amount. Thank you for all the new subs. Thank you for all the Patreon supporters. Thank you for all the people that have sent us things like stat trackers. Again, that is really awesome. You should check it out if you're a DM. I had used my brown bear right as we were fighting. Here it is right here. And of course, thank you to Monkey Paw for sending this amazing shirt that we had wore for the last game. And hopefully when it gets warm in next summer, I'll be able to wear it again, and you'll see me in there. Right now, it's just way too cold for short sleeve in the garage. But evil likes cruelty. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. This group, and if you watch the good game, and you can go to our YouTube channel, if you just want to binge, like if this is your first time in our channel and you just want to binge all the previous episodes that we've done for season 1 here, for this module, you can just go to YouTube and check us out right there. And there's all our videos are up there. Of course, in some of those videos, be aware that we were just starting out. And if you know anything about live streaming, OBS is a truly, truly cruel taskmaster. So sometimes our audio goes off. Sometimes the cameras want to stop working with OBS. So we apologize for those little quirks that we have, but we're constantly working to improve. And your support is what makes that possible. Let's see what Knighthood said. And you have those spare blank stat cards for other mobs like Mobats. Yeah, I should have did that. Why didn't I do that? I should have put another Mobat on one of the cards. But I have a Mobat stat card right actually in the computer as well, because it didn't exist in 5th edition. So there's no stat card for it on the stat trackers, but I could definitely have made a custom one. You're absolutely right. I watch for the terrain. That's fine. I'm sure a lot of people watch for the terrain. We're the only people that I know of doing this on the internet with this much Dwarven Forge. I think that's why people are so forgivable, is because we're occupying a good little niche here. There's a lot of people that do terrain. Like there's a lot of great guys, like Lord Gasumba. He's a really great guy, Jay, and he has a great show. He uses some Dwarven Forge, but a lot of his stuff I think is like the miniature underground and stuff like that. So it's really great to see he has his stuff and I got my stuff, and we both fit in the same little universe here. But nobody I know is doing this much Dwarven Forge. And yes, Nazcat TV, OBS is a fickle mistress. Who is up in that DF tower? This guy right here is actually that is the constable. They had met him, but they didn't meet him. But they had heard about him, and get some water here. They had heard about him in the beginning, and eventually they will be meeting him again, so you'll get to see what's going on with him. Funny little fun fact about the constable. I have really cheesy humor, and I told my friend that I wanted him that painted this to make something truly evil. I don't know if you might not be able to see the shield, but when we get up there, I'll show you the shield. And what he did to mess with me is he painted the purple cobras from the movie Dodgeball on his shield. So whenever the constable now goes around with his men, it's purple cobras. Tss. Yeah, that's the kind of bad humor that I have at my age. You would think at my age I would have gotten out of the teenage humor, but no, it's still there. Let's see, on the balcony, yeah, it's a Miniature Underground. It's not, yeah, they are. Miniature Underground has some cool stuff. I've seen their thing. I'm just hardcore Dwarven Forge. I just love their product. I love how well it's built. I love the modularity of it, that I can have all these pieces and literally create, with enough pieces of Dwarven Forge, you can create any possible RPG environment that you could dream of to any size that you could want. It's just a matter of, how much money are you willing to spend. That's obviously, that's the thing about Dwarven Forge. I won't even try to pretend they are the best on the market, but it's like anything else that's the best. It's going to cost you probably the most. So that's the only downside, is you get this wonderful terrain, but yeah, it costs some money to keep collecting it. Like this table right here, I'd estimate all this terrain. This isn't even all my stuff. I'd say about a third of what I got. This is about $7,000 probably on this table right now. How is the audio? Yeah, this is a lot of money. This stuff costs money, but it's worth it, because the nice thing about Dwarven Forge is, I have a gaming computer, right? And you spend $5,000 on a gaming computer, within like 5 years, you have to do it again. The nice thing about this Dwarven Forge is, first of all, I have more fun using this than I could do playing my PC games, although I do love PC games. But this stuff lasts forever. I can hand this down to my son. This stuff is like PVC material. Look, I don't want to bang too loudly, but I could drop this stuff on the ground. I could try to bend it, throw it, hit it. It's not going to break, man. This stuff it will last you forever once you buy it. And that's one of the things I really like about the Dwarven Forge, versus like some other things that use like flock, because flock tends to fall apart and you have pieces all over your table. And I have the joke, get the flock out of here. I don't like that. But I mean, it's not terrible, but it has its issues. So I prefer the Dwarven Forge. There is also Death Ray design terrain that is nice for a paint your own. Oh, well, Amber, and also Trades, I can't paint worth crap. So, I mean, I have like, stubby sausage fingers. So my stepson says I should make the attempt and try. But to be quite honest, my passion is in writing modules, building terrain, running people through the game, just, having fun with it. I don't think I'd be as passionate painting. So I don't think my heart would be in it, whereas other people just really love miniature painting and terrain painting. The way I sit around the table building Dwarven Forge for 30, 40, 50 hours to get prepared, someone probably does the same thing with their terrain and miniature painting. He could paint walls of stone. I probably could try that. Oh, real quick, anyone, if you have Amazon, if you want to use us for a Prime sub, we could really appreciate it. Any money that we get, we're gonna put towards another table, so we could have 2 tables where I could have this terrain up and then also seamlessly transition into dungeon stuff. And by an added bonus, if we get to 5 subscribers, like I said, you'll see me dance and sing in my costume and everything else. So, but yeah, any subscribers would be helpful, because it's just helping us to get bigger. But just here watching, obviously, if you can't subscribe, I know, dude, I know it's a hard time with COVID. Oh my God. So I know everybody, money is low. So if you can't do it, just coming here and watching is so appreciated. It sounds cliche when people say that, like, oh, thank you for coming and watching the show, you help so much, but it's really true. Every viewer helps us get closer to our goals of what we're trying to do here on Twitch, and continuing to bring you all some of the best terrain literally in the world, and a one-of-a-kind show that you just can't find anywhere else. Yeah, stone could be hard. It's a good start though. A mini might have too many points of color touching. Yeah. Yeah, I've never tried I tried to paint some streets one time, like Dwarven Forge streets, and they didn't turn out good. It was terrible, man. Plus,
ever silent rogue talking about letting the cleric handle their own. How many of you think that the cleric is going to be trying to fight this thing solo right now?
Oh, wait, hold on 1 second, Rich. I just don't want Ann to John to think I'm ignoring him. What do you think of Tasha Book Leaks? I don't know what Tasha Book Leaks is. Anybody know what that is?
There's a new book coming out called
Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They recently leaked it like yesterday or the other week or something like
Tasha
that.
being Igwil.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that was. I didn't want to think I was ignoring his question or anything like that.
Tasha being Igwil.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna pretty much change how you build characters from here on out.
All right.
Yeah, look into it. Maybe it'll be really interesting for you.
I'm definitely getting it once it comes out. If for nothing else, in the fact that they finally made psionics something that is playable and viable in 5e.
It can be interesting.
But then can I say that the new, I believe it's the new Wild Mode book has made some of like the spells and everything in the book are a little OP. If I'm the only person.
And anything that takes place in the Tal'Dorei campaign setting, Matt Mercer's Critical Roles campaign world, is absolutely OP for a standard game.
Yeah, high fantasy.
Because he runs very high magic, high powered fantasy. So it is absolutely OP for your standard D&D game.
Oh, wait till you see the module. I'm almost finished writing that, because there's some crazy stuff in that tower.
I wish I could get that Tal'Dorei campaign setting book now. Now every game store and everything is all sold out because they decided not to make any more copies of the book. It's all sold
because
out.
it was through Green Ronin, and they decided to make the Wild Mount book an official D&D product.
Yeah, that really bummed me out when I couldn't get any more.
Yeah.
Now I can get it, but I have to pay like $200 to be able to get it.
Yeah. Well, I do have it, and if you want any of the information from it, Lucius, I'll be happy to send it over to you. Yeah, NASCAT, as far as the changing the character building goes, one of the things that people have been talking about for a while on the internet is changing the linked stat abilities to the racial profiles. And now what they're going to be doing is giving you a way to build your character that is completely class and background dependent. So you can build the super intelligent half-orc wizard or the powerhouse halfling barbarian in a way that is literally for building your character based off their class and their background rather than their racial abilities, to give true customization to every character.
That sounds awesome, man.
It is. It's really, really cool.
That's kind of like going back to 2e where you just have more customizable choices. That's what I loved about 2e is how specific you could be. All right, so let's jump back into it. We've got everybody here. The Mobat, we had just had a huge bat come down. Luckily, Selmar had detected it. They were got a very good perception roll, and they were able to detect this Mobat coming down. But it did a screech, and unfortunately, Selnar has failed the Constitution check, so their ears are bleeding. So you see, this elf just blood coming out the ears and having to hold one hand over the ears, forcing them to have to fight with disadvantage. All right, so the rest of the party, everybody woke up but Cutter because he is drunk once again. The barbarian from raging and beating stuff down. That's just his style, and we wouldn't have it any other way. So let's go ahead and start with...
And you said I had a reaction to give, correct? You said that I have disadvantage on all my attacks, but you asked before everyone wakes up if there was anything I wanted to do.
Yes, that you could do. Yes.
All right. I would like to actually use my spell Word of Radiance. It is a cantrip. It's everything within 5 feet of me, and since this thing is directly in front of me,
you're not getting an attack, but you can like do something like yell or say something.
Oh, if that's the case, then no, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Then let's go ahead and what is Lucius? You woke up, Lucius. What are you doing, buddy?
Oh, okay. Lucius. Who else is awake?
Me.
Everyone but Cutter.
Everyone but Cutter. That's right. Lucius is going to be like, I don't know. Do you think we should help him this time, or do you think he has this all handled by himself?
Oh, the irony.
While it might sound nice, nice in your case to do that, I at least understand that no one is useful when they're hurt.
Well then, Lucius, can I attack with both my snake and myself, or do I have to choose one or the other?
Your familiar cannot attack itself, but it can deliver touch attacks that you cast. You can cast your touch attacks through it. Familiars do not get an attack action.
Oh, okay, because I thought mine did, because I actually made an attack action for it, because it does have a poisonous snake bite.
Yeah, but familiars themselves are not able to attack.
Oh,
you know what's funny? In the new Baldur's Gate 3 game, they actually can. The Ranger's familiar can attack. I don't know about.
Well, that's the Ranger's companion. That is not the.
Yeah, so it might be different.
Familiar.
I don't know. It might be different. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, darn it.
It cannot attack, but it can take other actions as normal. So you can have it use the help. You can have it use the help action, giving you advantage on your attacks. If you want.
did not understand my magic spell then.
Richard just shut you down.
I would have definitely chosen a hawk, so I could see through the eyes of a hawk. Well, anyways, in that case...
You can always change it the next time you cast a spell.
That's true, but it's my high-level spell. Anyways, I'm going to use the snake to go and cast Frostbite, which is a cantrip.
All right, so you're going to move into combat. If you're going to, I just wanted to see if you want to RP anything, seeing them out there. If you're moving to combat, then we're going to go ahead and roll initiative on everybody then. If whoever's wanting to move and attack. All right, so let me roll initiative on my bat.
I failed. Last time I got natural 20, this time I got natural 1.
All right, I got a 10. And you got a what? A natural 1?
I got a 4.16.
Oh, I have 4. Oh, so for a 4. Okay, so Lucius is a 4.
What did I roll? Says I rolled a 1. Yeah, I rolled a 1 plus 3.16. Yeah, so 4.16.
Big difference than the 23 you just had. All right, so you're moving into battle.
20, yep.
I'm if you're moving in, I'm gonna let Selenar. I'm gonna let them go ahead and roll initiative. Go ahead, Selenar, and move in. Roll
14.
Initiative. Okay, so Selenar's 14.
Not great, not horrible.
5 rotogens. Not great, but not terrible. Only 15 rotogen. 5 rotogen. That was a great movie. All right, so 14. Does anybody else want to move into combat or
yeah, sure. Jimmy Hedrix is going to move in and has 17 initiative.
Okay, so Jimmy, I'll go down the names so everybody has to talk over each other. I should have said that first. I'm sorry. I got to get into the habit of doing that. All right, Jimmy Hedrix, 17. Cutter's still asleep. And Yuri, what was your initiative?
Yuri's a 21, natural 20.
Ooh, 21. All right, so obviously Yuri is gonna be up there first. So Yuri runs into battle. Jimmy Hedrix is up here. Cutter hasn't rolled because he is knocked out. All right. Well, Cutter is still on the ground. No one woke him up. So he's gonna sleep through the whole damn thing. All right. So it is Yuri's turn.
It is probably better off that he stays asleep.
Oh, it's probably better off he stays asleep.
It's probably better he stays asleep.
So what do you want to do, Yuri?
I'm just going for it. I'm just, I'm going for this thing that decided to attack one of my party members, and it's gonna get a smack because I feel slightly defeated from earlier.
It's in the air. It's flying around, at Selenar.
All right, go ahead and make an attack. It's stationary flight. It's kind of like, it's not flying around. It's kind of like flapping above Selenar if it just did the screech. and now it's kind of flapping down slowly, kind of like, you know, right above him. You can still reach it, but it's right above him.
That's gonna be a 19 to hit.
Ooh, you got it. Much.
So it's gonna be 12 points of slashing damage.
Ooh, okay. It is still up. Do you want to do it, or do you want me to describe it?
You can do it.
All right. So Yuri hears, you know, this huge screech, and you know, it jumps up, you know, looks around, you know, runs out of the cave, sees that Selenar, his ears are bleeding, could care less about that, but you know, is pissed off that this Mobat has woken him up from his, you know, his sleeping. So now Yuri runs in, goes to slash. It hits the part of the wing, not the actual bone that's holding the wing structure together, but the actual flap. You see it cut the flap, and a piece of skin is actually still attached to your sword as it goes through the Mobat's wing. You take it and kind of rub it off, and you said 12 slashing damage? That's what you did? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so 12, and does 12 damage. All right. So now it is Jimmy Headtrix's turn.
I'm going to get. I hear the commotion outside, and I rush to get to the entrance, and trying to hide behind the stone of the entrance. And I draw my short sword after I see what's going on, sorry, my short bow, and take a shot at this Mobat.
All right, go ahead. Give me a roll.
And that's 9.
All right, so you miss, and now the Mobat, it's kind of like it takes off in flight again. It's kind of like circling because it sees the arrow has missed it, and it begins circling again, kind of like heading around, looking around. So it's still low. I'd say about 6 feet above each one of you now. So it's just circling, flying around here.
So still, are you saying it's still within our fighting range, so we don't get attacks of opportunity? Correct?
No, it went up into the air a little bit, and now it's kind of like flying. You can tell it's almost like circling everybody that's out there.
But it's still within our reach to hit in melee.
I'd say more it's ranged at this point because it's open flight now.
So
like
then
flying.
both Yuri and I would get attacks of opportunity for it leaving our threatened area. That's how opportunity attacks work.
I know. I'm just trying to think how this bat, the way it's going up. I'll give it. Yeah, you know what? I'll give it to you because if it was trying to get away, it just kind of like hovered back into the air. But you're at disadvantage. Remember that.
I'm aware.
Yeah. So, but Yuri, go ahead and give me a quick roll.
That's another 19.
Ooh, okay. You might do
And
it.
that's a 21. I rolled a 20 again with a 17 as the lower roll.
Jesus Christ. It's loaded dice, man. Loaded dice. All right.
Right here.
Dice.
I
I think they could take care of this bat by themselves.
The app is Fight Club 5. It is available on both Android and iOS.
I find it interesting that both groups like rolled a random encounter. Like if you look back on my rolls, I rolled a 20 on the third check, and both groups got this darn Mobat. It's like both groups are meant to fight this Mobat. All right,
It's part of the module.
Yeah, it's random encounter. Do ahead and do do an attack for me, Yuri, because you rolled a 19.
So it's a 19 hit.
But what's your damage? I know you got 19. What's your?
Oh yes, that's 9 more points of damage.
All right, so
add on another 7 points of damage from me.
Well, Yuri got it down, so it's down now. Yuri, as the what did you say?
Overkill.
Overkill. Yeah. Well, it's
That's
it
the
was
name of our game. I think that's our group motto right there. Is overkill. We
Okay.
just overkill everything. You don't even
The
the hubs-
reckless abandon.
You know what? I'm so glad y'all have that attitude. I can't wait for chapter 2. Because chapter 2 ramps up the difficulty.
We just want to melt the faces off of everything. It seems.
No, it trust me. It's gonna ramp up, man. Because don't read the module. Don't cheat. But it does ramp up. It gets intense. But yeah, y'all do awesome. This was a random encounter though, so you got lucky. Yuri comes over. You know, she's already had slashed one time the wing, and now the thing, you know, in its frustration because it saw the arrow come by from Jimi Hendrix. You know, the Durgar was hiding by the rock and shot the short boat when flying by him, and it missed, but it tried to get away. It felt threatened. And at that moment, when it tried to do what all animals do, fight or flight, it was realized, hey, you know, I'm not going to be able to get this little piece of prey that I'm not going to be eating tonight. I'm going to try to find something easier. It tried to get away and hoist itself up. But this time, because of the wing that had been sliced, it couldn't get mobile and get high enough, fast enough. Yuri is able to take a quick strike and it just takes a straight standing stab right into the chest of the Mobat and hauls it down and pushes it off his sword, just right onto the ground. And the Mobat schlucks to the ground, its eyes still open in a deathly stare.
And as that happens, I look over to the wizard and say, "This is how you do this.
Ooh.
This is how you don't get killed."
Everybody picks on Lucius.
That's the one with the muscles. I was gonna say I have a snake to help me take care of that. Yes.
What?
Okay, I see. You have muscles.
I'm sorry, what?
I think his ears are still ringing.
Yeah.
Nah.
Is there something I can do to, I don't know, fix this?
Perhaps Papa's ego.
Their ego.
Oh,
Even I'm getting good at the pronouns. All right, so let's say that Rich, your ears slowly, you know, come back to normal. You notice that you know you're the shrieking, you know, your ears are ringing, but you're starting to hear people a little bit better now. So it's just wearing off. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I think that's about what time.
How big is this thing?
What'd you say?
How big is this thing?
It's a giant bat. Go check it out.
Like size category.
Is hold on. I have it right here.
Like medium, large, huge.
Oh, hold on. I got it for you. I just closed it.
Gargantuan.
Mobat is large animal.
Awesome. I would like to try to harvest
this
that
bat
thing.
is the size of a fucking Clydesdale.
I want to try to harvest this
made out
thing.
of glass, so.
I want to try to harvest this thing. I'm sure it has some kind of special alchemical properties, right, DM? Maybe
All
like
right.
it's echolocation box or something awesome that I can get from this. I rolled a 20.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I don't know what alchemical materials bats would normally have, but we'll say because you rolled the 20 that you do get some. What normally comes on a bat, Lucius? Because I don't know offhand every alchemical material. Well, I want something he can actually use. That's something that's really exists.
Guano is actually one of the components in the fireball spell.
Bam. Okay, so the thing, because it had died in its last moments of death, it started pooping. So you get some guano. We'll give you some bat fangs.
Doesn't it do a special ability? Usually, it has something that's a special ability.
Yeah, that paralyzing screech.
Wing. I'm pretty sure "wing of bat" is something that you hear in like cartoons. When
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
If you look at the 3 hags from Macbeth, yes.
Yeah.
So you get some bat fangs, some bat wing. The voice box seems like, you know, a little bit larger than a normal bat's, you know. But let's roll if you can cut that out. Let's give me a sleight of hand check if you're trying to go after that voice box. That's like surgery.
Hand, or do I do the alchemical materials thing?
Well, are you trying to cut out the voice box?
yeah, I would totally try to get that voice box.
Yeah, that's almost like surgery then, because you're trying to specifically go into the next without cutting any of the cords. Give me a sleight of hand if you're if you're just chopping off a piece of wing or pulling out a tooth, that's no big deal. But if you're going for specific body organs, internal organs.
Okay, sleight of hand is not my proficiency, but I still got it, 22.
All right. So you're able to cut this box out, and it's still just a normal voice box from what you could tell from a bat, but it is much larger. What you could use it for, you're not quite sure at this moment, but who knows what it could be used in the future for.
You could make a whistle out of it.
Tony.
I'm gonna write down paralyzing voice box of bat.
Also, Tony, one of the things, since this is like a special bat, it's not your normal bat, perhaps when he's able to cast Fireball, he might be able to throw like an extra damage die in when he casts it using that guano.
Now you're pushing it.
I'm saying for a one-time use.
Maybe. We'll let the, I'll tell you what.
More books, okay? I'm gonna send you some more books or whatever when I find them or when I get them. I'm gonna send them to you so you can research on these alchemical properties that we could be using.
You gotta just try to remember the stuff, and because I can't remember every single alchemical property. I'm not gonna
over here.
Yeah,
but
I'm
you're
not
the
gonna
DM.
lie.
You're supposed to know every rule flawlessly without ever making a mistake.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
correct.
any DM who tells you they know every single rule is not a DM. There's nobody.
I know every single rule. I just don't remember them all at the same time.
That's me too. Then I know every rule that's ever possibly existed because I've read all the books, but I just can't bring them up to my memory at the time I need them.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good one, actually, Rich. I like that. So you've got your Mobat voice larynx box. You've got some little bit of bat wings, some bat tongues, some bat tooth, whole bunch of bat junk. You're loaded down with a bunch of crap. You got bear paw. Just walking around.
Yeah.
You smell pretty bad, Lucius, with all this dead animal stuff.
I have jars and compartments to put them in.
Still, man, you're covered with crap. All right,
Do you
so
have a
Probably,
proficiency
yes.
in
I don't-
alchemy, by the way, Lucius?
Do I what?
Do you have a proficiency in alchemy?
I do. That's why I
Right.
That's-
Okay. So
that's
do
why I
I.
took it.
If you ever need help with that kind of thing, I can aid you
oh, awesome.
Okay, awesome. You
and
can,
get
you
you
can cut it up for me.
get you a advantage on that.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna go down the line, ask everybody what they want to do. Just give you a heads up. It is now about 3 o'clock in the morning. You were working your way through that last rest. Well, it's 6 hours at that point. I think it went to you. It was a third rest, so you're 6 hours because you were about 2 hour rest. All right, so you're working your way through the third rest. It's pretty much that one's over. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Jimmy, what do you want to do?
There's probably about an hour left before we need to get up and start moving, right?
Yeah, about that.
So I'm gonna
Hour or two.
grab my arrow out of the woods if I can find it, and then go back and sleep on the bear nest.
Right. Yeah, because to make it.
The bare pile of whatever it made that was soft that I began sleeping on.
Roll for fleas. No, I'm joking.
Fleas.
Roll for fleas.
I've got proficiency in fleas.
Proficiency in flea. So yeah, you're in there. You go ahead and you knock out. You got one more rest left if you want to be 8 hours. So there'd be one more guard duty because that was your third guard duty right there.
I thought Selenar was the last one.
No, that was the third because you can see. Actually, you can count how many rolls just by going up. You can see I've rolled 3 times for the dice 20, so that was your third watch. So one more watch.
Lucius and I were on the first, and then Lucius alone was on the second, and then Cutter was on the third. Right, Cutter?
Yeah, but you were on the first. Lucius was on the second. Cutter, did you take a watch on your own?
No, I think it was Selenar taking the watch.
No, I took
Oh, okay.
Lucius.
Sorry, I
Lucius.
thought Cutter was between Lucius
No.
and Selenar.
No, I was the third watch.
Right. Okay.
All right. So now, who wants to take the next watch? Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me ask everybody what they want to do. Jimmy, you're going back to sleep. Selenar, what do you want to do?
I look over at Yori because they were the one that were trying to get the last bit of their rest. You feeling all right?
I'm doing okay.
I should be fine.
What?
Still.
I should be fine to take the last one. I can't talk today at all. What the hell?
Oh, wow.
She's been drinking. She's been drinking for the game again.
Did you get into Cutter's wine?
Maybe.
All right, so why don't you go rest in by the fire? I'll clean up this mess out here so we don't attract anything else.
Will do.
All right.
So when everyone goes back in, I'm going to go over to this Mobat. I'm going to cut out a couple of fangs for myself. And then I'm going to drag it over to the river and just toss it in and let it wash away.
Damn, harshness. All right. All right, so you do that. That's your thing for that time. Now, Lucius, what did you want to do?
Lucius was busy curating, I guess, or not curating, but preparing the materials to be packed away.
All right, and Cutter's asleep, and Yuri went back to sleep as well. All right, so that's everybody for what they're doing. Is anybody taking watch this round?
I thought I was taking the last watch.
Okay, you are? Okay. I thought you had went back into the cave or something.
I believe Celador went back into the cave to go clean up the Mobat.
No, the Mobat's outside of the cave. I was taking it and tossing it into the river.
I believe I can take the last watch, considering unless I need all 8 hours to actually function as the character.
You took 6 hours of sleep, so you're good to take 2 hours of watch.
Then I should be fine to take the last watch.
All right.
And since I'm already done with my rest, I'll watch alongside you.
Oh, let me put you back.
And before the game next
So
week.
yeah, so Yuri and Selenar are taking the last watch.
All right. And I'll say this now, just so I don't forget, so somebody reminds me. Before the game next week, y'all need to just go ahead and put your guys to level 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. As long as you go back to town. Okay, because there's some stuff you have to do in town. DM shouldn't be telling you that, but I'm hoping that you get a sign that says you should return to town for a moment. He's going to level up. All right. Now you're on that watch. Let me roll real quick. Hopefully let's roll not another 20. And okay, nothing. All right, so Yuri is on watch. He's out there just looking around. The wind blows. The stars twinkle, and the sun is slowly starting to come. You see that the orange on the horizon. The sun isn't dawned yet, but it's starting. That little bit of very early morning light is now creeping up over the eastern sky. All right, nothing happened. No random encounters.
Yuri.
Yeah, Yuri's still awake. So Yuri, what do you want to do? Everybody else is knocked out.
Except for me.
Oh, and Selenar. You and Selenar are awake. So we'll say, Yuri, what do you want to do first? We'll go down the line.
I mean, I'm very much just admiring the night sky. Yuri kind of likes the peaceful, dark, and black and quiet. Even though she seems very quiet, she seems very conniving in her own ways, and she likes to watch chaos happen all on its own. Being evil is not all about destroying things, but making them work for your benefit.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
All right, so you enjoyed the last little bit of the night before the dawn. All right, so now morning has come. Selenar, what are you doing during right now as the sun's coming up?
Sneaking up behind Yuri and slitting her throat.
What the hell?
No.
Someone in the stream, I bet, probably went, yes! Let's find out. We'll look at the stream. Let me look at stream chat. Probably.
Just wait for the stream chat to catch up.
Yeah, wait. I want to see if somebody's like, yes! Pure murder?
No, Selenar would be sitting...
All right,
Selenar would be sitting with Yuri and just sort of discussing with her just the way that everything's going. We need to find a way to get everybody on the same page and solidify our plan if we're actually going to survive moving out here. We can't be at each other's throats no matter how much we dislike each other.
All right.
You're not wrong.
True.
Yeah. You're
All
not
right.
wrong about that one.
So, Jimmy, you're waking up to everything else. What are you doing now? You hate the sun?
Yeah, I hate the sun. I'm like looking out the cave door and being like, gotta go out there again. Ugh.
Well, at least it's still only like 3 in the morning. So.
Yeah. So, I start.
Well, it's actually about 5 o'clock now, as I said, because the last watch is over now. It's over. Nothing happened. So, and during the night, you're just perfectly safe.
Okay.
Why can't we move in the night? I don't understand. It makes perfect sense. You pass undetected.
Actually, Tony, you said that we got to the cave and we started making camp at 6 p.m. 8 hours after 6 p.m. is 2 a.m.
Oh, God. All right, then fine. This can be 2.
That's why we were going to camp that way, so at least Jimmy could get
that's fine.
half of our travel day.
My math was terrible, obviously. So go ahead.
I just thought, I'm like, wait a second.
The good parties.
It's a special.
Traveling to the good parties.
It's a special.
Did I black out? Did I black out for a few hours? Did we miss something?
No. It's a special. Lathander, the Morning Lord, has decided to come down early to the world of Faerun and has blessed you all with his sunshot. Yeah, that's exactly what the evil party was saying. Lathander has blessed you with his morning glory early.
Go fuck yourself.
Jesus Christ.
To answer your question, I've started chopping up one of the wolves for an early morning breakfast. Into like 5 parts, and I've given it all out to everybody who will eat it. There are 3 elves. I don't know how many of them eat meat.
Ooh, got some vegans in here.
I will definitely eat meat.
What about you, Lucius?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Lucius is not. He's just going to be preparing for the day and packing his things away.
Do you eat meat? He's offering breakfast.
Oh yes, and he's definitely going to be doing that as well. He got to be nourished for the day.
All right.
One thing you will notice is that Selenar has never taken any of the cooked wolf steaks from you.
That's fine. I didn't think you would take anything from me because I'm pretty sure you're adversarial towards me.
What you actually do see, though, is a small chunk of dripping bat flesh that they are eating.
Ew.
Right, I see.
Raw.
Ew.
Of course.
What is Cutter doing right now?
So he's eating, but when he wakes up, he goes, He goes, nice, quiet night for once.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
Somebody take that man's alcohol.
I gave him the alcohol, and then he slept through the fight.
Jesus,
that's what it was too. That's what kept him asleep.
Every single person in the party woke up from that huge alarming screech, except the barbarian.
The barbarian heard the screech and then let out an equally loud and obnoxious fart, and then just rolled over and went back to sleep.
Yep, pretty much, just like.
Roll that Constitution savings throw.
I failed once. I think I'm good.
All right.
Or are you talking about the raw bat because I'm gonna have coronavirus?
No.
Oh my god! Don't bring the real world into Faerun. I'm joking.
I didn't think about it till just this second.
That's all right. So you can't help it. It permeates everything. All right. So what are we doing? Does he really need to roll a con check? Was something wrong with that meat?
No.
Okay.
No.
I have to make sure. All right. Although it would be funny, I should make you all roll a con check for rabies. Everybody gets infected with rabies. All right. Let's go ahead. What do you all do? I'll read off. Let's ask. Now that you've had your breakfast, and everything. It's still, like you said, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, so it's still pretty dark. But everybody's had a full meal. Everybody's rested. You know that you had defeated the goblins. That was one of your side quests. You also had found the bones of some cows that the bear was apparently eating. So who knows what the story is behind that?
Do we still want to follow after these dwarves?
I I think our plan ended up being that we would kill the goblins and then go back to town and talk to the woman at the end.
Oh, the bitch
Indeed,
that doesn't
time
care
to
about
reap the
this
rewards.
about anything but her own profits. Yeah.
Yes, that one. I mean, yes. yeah, that one.
Well,
Indeed.
if
We
I'm not
should head back to the
mistaken, she
town.
also owes us free meals and drink for our efforts as well.
All right, so let's go ahead and I'll start asking everybody. So you just did a little bit of that. Jimmy, Yuri, what do you want to do? What are your thing? Or if at this point, are you wanting to go back to town? Or?
I think that we should probably head back to town to at least get proper, I guess, food. Not that this isn't delicious, but we would need to go back to civilization to make our presence at least known.
All right.
So we go back then. We go back.
And what's your vote, Jimmy?
Yeah, we should go back.
Selenar?
Going back.
Lucius is ready to go back. He has some things he could sell to the town, probably.
There's this weird glowing. There's these two weird glowing words in my inventory that say "level up," and I want to find out what they mean. So I think going back to town, we'll figure out what it means.
And Cutter, I know what you want to do. You want to go back and get alcohol. So everybody's okay.
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah,
so
he's run out. He's got to restock.
all right. So
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
level up my alcohol.
we're gonna say by an amazing miracle that you are able to. Hold on a second. Oh. You are able to get back to the town gates, and within just a few hours, you find a miracle shortcut through the woods, and you're able to get back
Into the town.
There's actually a water slide off the river that
Yep,
breaks
that's what it
right at
was.
the town gate.
No, Bill and Ted came down from Wild Stallions, and they gave you like a phone booth and said, "Hey, you just got to use
Don't-
this."
Tony,
Yes.
that you're the DM. You're saying that could be canon. Do you really want to give us access to all of time and space?
Oh, shut up! Oh my God! No, you're right, Tony. No time and space. All right, so you're basically back in town. I'm gonna put the camera on, or have JC maybe get the camera on you in a second here, whatever angle he wants to put. But you're in town. You still have your little snake, Lucius. But it's late at night. Most everybody's asleep, so all these people you see here in the town square are actually not there. They're pretty much knocked out. You're approaching the town itself, and you're heading towards the Red Rocket very late at night.
And let me see if I can. Hey, JC, you want to do that camera? Or do you want me to do it? This is what it is, stream. We don't have robot assistants to move our cameras yet, so one of us has to move the first-person camera.
But if you want us to get robot assistants for our cameras, we do have a Patreon that you can subscribe to and donate.
All these guys here get a good view of what they're about to see.
And JC, after the stream is over, or actually even right now while Tony's doing that, get a copy, change the socials that we have listed to include the Discord server,
He can't
so we
hear
can
you right
actually
now.
add that into the socials.
You might want to just type that in the chat because he can't hear you because he's fixing the first person camera. He's doing it.
Well, that's
Right.
that was a waste of time. Give me a moment. Let's see if Discord bot wants to kick me out for this.
Hope not.
There we go. Guys, chat, that's the Discord link. You can join in. You can chat with us. We actually have a whole set of channels that are just for our subscribers and fans to watch. You can chat with us, maybe plot and plan with us if you'd like.
Plot and plan.
You'll be able to see all the conversations going on, not only for the evil party, but for the good party as well. And yeah, it's a way for you to sort of see what the goings are on behind us.
Right.
If you want to see us screw Tony's plans over left and right, you come in, you chat with us, let us know what you want to see, and we will happily do it.
All right. So, thank you, Rich, for all that. And there's also, don't forget to follow us on Patreon. We have so much stuff. It'll all be in the chat. After many hours, and as time begins to stretch into the wee morning hours here, you decide that now might be the time to go ahead and return to Kessler at the Red Roof Inn, the Red Rock Inn. As you tiredly make your way through the alleys, you hear a strange yelp and a whimper. And within a few moments, you hear the same sound again, and this time recognize it as a sound of a dog being badly hurt. As you round the corner to see who or what could be cruelly hurting an animal, you see a short, dark form in front of you. It seems to have spikes all around the head, elbows, and legs, but it is scuttling away too quickly to be sure. All right, I'm going to start going down the line, asking everybody wants to do as you see this thing. What you see is actually on the battle cam. I don't know if you can see a picture of it, or it's right there. Yuri, what do you want to do? There's no initiative right here. You're just seeing it starting to run away. What do you want to do as it's starting to run?
I want to follow it.
All right, so you're gonna follow it. All right, as it's running, roll me. If you're gonna run after it, roll me an athletics check. Let's find out what everybody's doing first, then we'll do the rolls. Yuri's gonna run. Jimmy, what do you want to do when you see this thing running?
I am not a runner. I have these short, stubby legs. So what I'm gonna do is pull my short bow and actually fire at it as quickly as possible.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know. This thing is doing some sketchy stuff in the middle of the night, so I'm gonna try and kill it.
Ugh.
I don't know much about cities, okay?
It's mercilessly hurting a dog. I mean, if it were a kid or something, we wouldn't care, but it's hurting a fucking helpless animal.
Well, I mean, I eat animals though. Like I hurt animals all the time, every day.
That's his character. That's his character, people, not in real life.
No, that's Raven. That's Raven himself.
Well, both of us.
Raven hurts animals on a daily basis. That's
not possible. Raven's Canadian.
Animals with my hands. I just eat them all.
Raven is Canadian. They apologize for saying their apology didn't come out right.
Yeah.
Yes, until you talk about Canadian geese, and then you realize, oh, it's all a front.
Nah, Canadian geese run this. All right.
Anyways, but yeah, I'm going to fire at it.
Go ahead and
at the dog.
There's going to be. I'm not going to make you roll initiative because this is kind of like a narrative action-y scene. But I am going to make you roll it at disadvantage then, since we're not doing initiative. So go ahead and roll it for me because it was just it was quickly and you quickly just whipped it out trying to get it. So roll.
Okay. Were we going to get everyone's action first?
Yes, but all right. So yeah, I'll just go on. Go ahead, Selenar. Tell me what you're going to do then.
I see this thing. I see him pull out the bow. I see it attacking this animal. I am going. How far away from me is it, roughly?
It's about
a little bit farther back here, a little bit farther back here. So it's a good 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 feet away.
Oh, 40 feet? Perfect.
It's starting to, at this point it was closer, but now as it's running in this moment, it's 40 feet away.
I look at it, and I'm going to cast a spell. It's going to need to make a wisdom save, as long as it speaks common.
All right. We'll let the party decide who actually has their thing go off first after we decide everybody wants to do. All right, so
mine is a single word action. I'm casting command, and my command is going to be halt.
All right.
Actually, I'm just gonna, which is going to mean it doesn't move and takes no actions for 1 round.
Well, hopefully it won't be dead from the arrow to its back first. Lucius, Lucius, what do you want to do, buddy? Lucius, is he there? I think we lost Lucius.
He's talking, but we cannot hear him.
Lucius, you're muted.
Sorry, I had my muted. I was on mute. I'm gonna cast Bane. Bane is a spell where I can, whenever a target that fails a saving throw, a charisma saving throw, and it makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, which is up to 1 minute, the target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll.
Attack and saves. Yeah, it's like the opposite of bless. All right. How far? What's the range on that? I didn't think Bane went that 40 feet.
Oh, you're right. I would have to go 10 feet first.
All right. So this thing is already running. If you want, so
I guess it's out of range, so I couldn't do that.
Yeah, you would. In this moment, it's out of range
because this is. I would like to investigate the dog and see what kind of damage, what it was doing to that dog.
All right, so you're going to approach the dog at this moment. You're looking down at the dog. Because this is like literally like a split second, like 2 or 3 seconds to react. In like 3 seconds, you have to...
There's no movement involved.
Yeah, that's why I'm not...
You get to move or attack.
You know, basically...
I'd like to investigate the dog and see what it was actually doing to the dog.
Okay,
I would like to pet the dog.
Pet the dog, all right. So that will be... And then Cutter, what do you want to do, man?
Yeah, so he says... oh, I was so looking forward to my wine. And he's going to chase after.
All right. So let's start with the people chasing first. Okay. Yuri, roll me an athletics check because this thing is fast.
I believe I have a 17 plus 3. My sheets are being funny because the roll 20 won't load for me. So I believe it's a plus 4.
Okay, so you're keeping pace with it because you rolled over a 20. So you're keeping pace. Man, this thing is unbelievably fast for its little size. Almost you can tell that it shouldn't be able to run this quick. So you're still now you're pretty much even with it. You're not up to it, but you're keeping pace. You notice that it's not getting the gap isn't widening. So you move up a little. Let's just say that you're within now. You're 35 to 30.
So you're still there. It's within that second of you're able to start chasing it. Now we're going to Jimmy. You had shot at it, so let's see if it kills it before she even gets to it.
I rolled a 16.
And that hits.
Bonk. So I should roll damage then, right?
Yeah, and that's a sneak attack because it didn't know that you were. It was just like it's running a jet and it's not engaged with you.
Yeah, of course. So that'll be 2d6 plus 2. That is 11, 13.
Oh my god. Dude, I wish I could do... Wait a minute. I wish there was a way to show you the hit points here on it. Because you just literally you took it down. Oh my god.
Yeah, and that was on my nice like agate dice too, so...
To hell with catching it.
I feel good about that.
So I see the arrow strike it and it just drops?
Yeah, to hell with questioning it and wondering what it's doing here. Just kill it.
Well, when I see that, I'll just point my hand and cast Spare the Dying on it so it can't bleed out.
Spare the Dying? I think that only works on a friendly companion, I would think.
No, it does not. It's any dying creature.
All right.
The mechanics of 5e...
You target a living creature that has 0 hit points, the creature becomes stable.
All right. You know what?
Okay, that's really specifically worded. I like that.
All right. You go ahead. You notice your spell does work, but the thing is still like sickly. It doesn't have much time because it's not a normal type creature, but you do have time to go in and investigate this thing now at this point because you did spare the dying. So, but it's like,
it's still like fading its magic. Whatever's keeping it animated alive is fading out of it.
As I'm approaching, and as I approach, I wonder if I recognize it as a Durgar.
No, you instantly know that this thing is not an elf. But you do remember...
Not an elf.
Not elf. I mean, not a dwarf.
Not a dwarf.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so you instantly can tell that this thing is not a dwarf of any kind. But you also remember, all of you remember that can see it, that now that you've approached it, it's
kind of holding its and like this green, this sappy substance is coming out of its body or whatever. It looks to be almost made of like, it's not a wooden creature, but it has like a wooden type appearance to its body, almost like leaves are coming out of its hair. Some of its body almost seems to be covered like with a barky like substance. And you know that this is the description what people had talked about of the night dwarves that you've been searching of. This, you recognize that this must be what they were talking about. It's still
Yuri.
Yeah.
Why don't you use
Tony, this is Cutter.
holy magic to close that wound so it doesn't perish before we can question it?
Will do. That I will immediately use my, I believe it's my healing magic that I have to
Lay on hands.
Yeah, there we go.
1 point should bring it enough up to where it can't die on us.
No effect with that. There's no effect with that. This thing isn't a humanoid in the sense that you know. And this isn't me being cheap, Selenaro.
Is it a construct or undead?
No.
Then it would work on it.
It's a... If I
Any
explain,
creature that is not construct or undead.
It's a DM thing.
It looks like it's a DM rule.
Yeah, I don't want
Okay.
to. I don't want to ruin it.
This is like one of those DM rules where it doesn't matter about the rules because it's the DM.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
I don't want to ruin it for you if I tell you too much. But the healing isn't working on this thing.
Oh shit.
Okay. You notice. And remember, there was other things that earlier in the venture that healing didn't work on. If you really think about it, if you remember.
My sister was one of them.
Yeah. See, I don't want to ruin too much. So anyway, the healing isn't working. It's continuing just. The master, Colderan, I failed you, Colderan. The Dark Lord, the Dark Mage of the Forest will kill you all. Destroy you all, and bring forth the sickness to wipe your blight from this world. All right. Anybody? Selenar, you tried to heal it. Jimmy, you shot it. Cutter, what do you want to do? You want to do anything as this thing search it for alcohol?
No, but I'm there because I was chasing it, right?
Yep,
So,
yep. Well, it slowed down enough now. Once it was on the ground, everybody else was able to make it to it.
as it bleeds out and as it finishes its soliloquy, I say, well, fortunately for us, he has more than a few dying words. So you took notes?
Do you ask in your group if they took notes?
I look over to the wizard.
I believe it was.
The wizard walks over and said, I didn't quite hear what he said. I was looking at the dog to see what it did. What did it do to the dog?
That's right.
Colderad, the dark mage of the forest, will have its revenge on the world.
So what was it doing to the dog? What was it doing to it? Was it eating it? Is there like some necromantic like wounds on it? That's what I was looking for.
All right, you don't need to do an investigation check on this. The dog looks like the dog is just barely alive. I mean, it's still, you can tell it's not moving, but you see its chest going up and down, and it looks like a bite has been taken out of, part of its rib cage area, like out of its stomach, but it's still alive, but it's bleeding profusely at this point.
So it looks like it was just trying to go for small scraps.
Looks like possibly it does look like it, took a bite out of it. Looks like teeth marks or something came out of the dog.
So nothing necromantic or anything like that. That was trying to do some kind of spell or try to collect anything from the dog. It was just a bite.
Just a bite. Looks like a bite.
Okay. I walk over and do I recognize what this thing is? Like, is it like a ghoul or something?
No. Let's go ahead and hold on. you know that you from the stories that you were told earlier, you do recognize by a description of people, the few people have described like seeing night dwarves, that this is going by a description. And actually at that moment, the commotion you had made, you start hearing, and then coming around the corner.
What's going on here? What's this? What's going on here? Freeze, don't move there, don't move. Oh, good. And then another one comes. Jimmy! He got one of the night dwarfs. Yeah, look, that's what it must be. Good God, look at that thing. We got to get it off the street before the morning comes. This market can't have this thing. Good God, did you...
They look at you and they ask your group as a whole, what happened here? What did you kill this thing?
Aye.
What do you say? Let's
I put my bow away.
All right, so Cutter, what do you do as I ask that? Because he just put his bow away. Jimmy Headtricks is like, ooh, slides it. Like, nothing. What do you do, Cutter?
Say, oh, you must have tripped and fell to an arrow.
Tripped it. So the dwarf looks like he had an arrow over there, and now you're saying it tripped and fell. All right, Yuri, what do you do? What are you doing?
Well, we happen to come across this thing attacking something else.
All right. Well, we're gonna remove this thing. Is that the same story from all y'all? You just came across this thing and it was attacking you?
It was attacked by somebody else somehow with an arrow as it was attacking this dog over there.
Well, the more
Actually, was trying to protect their dog. I do not know, but as I can see it, it looks like it was on its deathbed as it was trying to survive on dog.
Rolling in. Let's see who is the closest. I tell you what. Have everybody roll an insight check for me.
I'm just waiting for the rest of the party to fumble through what they're saying before I'm going to speak up to these guys.
Natural 20.
Right. That's why I'm rolling. Everybody's rolling the insight. I could tell this.
Jimmy's
24.
Got, 16.
Natural 20. 24. Natural 20.
All right. Everybody.
24 with an 18.
All right. I was just about to say everybody rolled over a 12. Cutter. All right. So everybody rolled over a 12. That's the biggest thing. All right. So at the, you can notice as the guards, even though they're kind of yelling at y'all a little bit, you can tell like in their face, like there's kind of like this half crooked smile, like they're a little bit impressed and happy that someone, that you took this thing down. Maybe it's the fact that, people have been dying left and right and disappearing, but it's nice. You get the sense that they're happy to see that someone's striking back at whatever's going on in this town, even though they're kind of going hard on you. And they tell you, hey, what? Go ahead.
I look at the guards. Oh, go ahead.
Well, it was this, it wasn't so bad what y'all did here. Y'all caused a lot of problems earlier in this town, but it's good to finally see you can do something right. I'm not going to take you all in, but I'm going to remove this body and we're going to deliver it to the constable. Yes. What can I do for
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. We were just returning to the gates when we saw you and your men take this thing down.
Yeah, sure you were. It just ran up to you and fell down.
It would be wrong of us to take credit for such a brave kill that you and your men made, no?
Well, that's a shame, because the constable had offered a reward. I'll tell him you didn't want it then.
I killed it. I show him my bow that, of course, I haven't used yet.
All right. Well, we're going to take this body and we're gonna get rid of it before the morning comes and there's a crowd and God knows what else people would be saying. But I'm sure you'll be hearing from the constable soon. What was that?
Well, we were going to be meeting with him soon anyway.
Wouldn't it be wise to watch this and see if it does anything in undeath?
If you all want to, you can. Are you talking to the guards?
I'm talking to the guard, and that's what he's like. I have been studying life and magics, and this seems like a magical construct of some sort. Perhaps it'll do something after, in a while.
He looks at you, takes out his like sword, goes over to the thing, you know, like pushes it, pokes it in the neck with the thing, and then curls up his lip. Is like, looks dead to me. Don't think much is gonna be happening here.
It looks dead, but it looked like it was dead when it was walking. So perhaps it would be wise to keep an eye on it.
Tell you what, roll a persuasion check for me, and what we'll do is I got an idea. Go ahead. All right, well, you rolled a high one. Tell you what we'll do. I'm not can't let you come with the body because the constable wants any information leading up to the night dwarfs. But what I can do is you come, and tomorrow or the day after, you come check us out, and you ask for Barnaby, the guard Barnaby. And if I've heard anything, if anything changes, if this thing so much as shuffles an eyelash or a pinky toe, I'll make sure you hear about it. It's the least we could do for you killing this thing. But don't cause any more trouble, no more fights, and no more strangulations. He looks over at the barbarian.
I look over my shoulder.
All right. So, at this point, they're picking up the body. Let's go down the list. Jimmy, what do you want to do, buddy?
I'm gonna ask for the arrow that's sticking out of it.
Thought you said you didn't shoot nothing. Why would you want an arrow? He kind of says that to you, Riley. And he's like, fine, get the arrow. Just be quick about it.
And I pull it out.
All right. So Jimmy got his arrow. Cutter, you're just standing there looking behind yourself or hanging out? What are you doing?
I actually want to talk to Selenar, and this is related to those guards, so probably sooner than later.
All right, well, go
So
ahead
pretty much
real
as soon
quick.
as they're out of earshot.
All right, well, you go ahead and
Yeah, so I
Selenar.
go over and I put my arm around him and I say, the one that looks like he's in charge. I say,
Yes.
you're a good sweet talker. Find us how much gold it would cost for him to turn the other way if I was to pay a visit to that old man who decided to degrade me in front of the others last time we were here. I say, and to be clear, I want to kill the old bastard.
Whoa.
Give me a moment. And I sort of shuffle up ahead to the guards. Barnaby, sir.
Yeah, what can I do for you? He's lifting up the body. You can see him. He's folding the arms of the night dwarf, you know, over his thing like that and picking it up.
Why don't let young men take care of that? You're obviously in charge. We should talk.
Hey, come here and get this, Balti. This man wants to speak to me. Hold on a second. Yeah, get that, Jimmy. All right, what do you want? I ain't got all day.
So, and I just lean in close. I'm like, you know the old drunkard that was causing trouble earlier.
You mean Willie? Me uncle?
Yes, Willie. Yes. Surely he deserves a much better life than the one that he has right now.
Maybe. What you getting at?
My friend Cutter here and I.
The drunkard?
Well, he's not so much a drunkard. He has a condition, and the alcohol keeps it at bay. You should see him when he's not drinking.
Good God, man. All right, then. What you want?
Cutter feels awfully bad for what he did the other day, and we actually wanted to take him out and go to a small cabin that they have to give him just a time away from everything. And I was wondering, could you tell me where his house is so I could actually make the apology myself?
Of course.
As you can tell, out of all of us, I am not one of the violent ones.
All right, he looks you up and down. Roll a deception check for me.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Roll deception.
That is a 19.
I'm so tired of your high dice.
I had like 2 9s earlier.
All right, so you're able to roll. You successfully passed that. He's like, well, if you want to know where Willie lives, he's up there on the hill. Shouldn't be too far from here. But I can tell you he's asleep right now. Probably would be best to go check him out.
Okay. Well, when we stop off at the bar, we'll make sure to grab a bottle of wine and pay a proper apology to him.
It's nice to see that you folk, maybe perhaps we were wrong about you. You came into this town, you caused a little bit of trouble, but it looks like you're trying to make amends for yourselves. Kudos and good for you. Congratulations.
And I actually reach into my coin purse and I look. Your men are working a hard night in such a rough time. I know what your job is like, and to show that there is no ill will for the hardships that we've put upon you, and perhaps for you to look the other way if we get into any other troubles. This is for you and your men, or just you, and you can tell your men what to do. And I'll actually hand him 5 gold, which should be about a month's pay for him.
Bites the coin. You truly know
I
how
wouldn't
starting
do that.
to know your way around this town. Very good. Now,
That
skedaddle.
5 gold has been in the pockets of a Durgar.
Exactly. That's why I was like, he goes to bite him. Like, I wouldn't.
Got a funny taste to it. Funny smell too. Oh well.
Well, when
it's
you've been
still
on the
money.
road and you deal with the things that we have.
All right. So that's what Selnar and Cutter had a convo. Yuri, I already asked you what you were doing, right? Did I ask you?
Oh, Yuri.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Sorry.
All right. Did I ask you what you were doing right now? What do you want to do?
I definitely kind of want to retire. Want to kind of look around town a bit, but I think we do have to check in with our with the inn and the person who sent us to do our job.
So
Gotcha.
you're eager to get out of this situation.
It would appear so. She doesn't. All right. So now, Jimmy, did I ask you yet?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I got my arrow back.
And Winged, what were you doing? Lucius?
was just looking at the body and trying to decipher what it is and what kind of a in more detail. If it could, like, he's actually thinking like, I wonder what I could harvest from this thing. But also trying to figure out.
Roll
what
me
he
an
would do.
Arcana check. Roll me an Arcana check. I was hoping you asked that. Go ahead and roll it.
Arcana.
Don't roll low for Christ's sake either.
That's
Oh,
my
come
first
on.
low roll. My first low roll for the night.
Come on.
There we go.
A wizard who doesn't. All right. Well, you go and
I've rolled
you
20s most of the night for somehow. Now
you can't tell what it is,
7.
but what you can tell is that this is definitely a magical creation. It's not natural. Your wizardly ability can tell you that.
pretty much what I told the constable.
Yeah. If you had rolled higher, but then it was. So,
Oh,
roll higher. All right.
next time maybe.
So now it is Cutter. No, Cutter already spoke. I think I asked everybody then. Cutter,
Yeah, I
Yuri,
think so.
and Jimmy, you just wanted to. What did you want to do?
I got my arrow back, and
Okay, that's right.
And I think we can. They can take the body away now.
All right. So,
I had a question on the dog whenever you're ready.
go ahead, go for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over, and this thing's definitely dying.
Yeah, it's dead now. It last thing it said was Kodarat, make you pay, the Dark Lord, the Dark Master of the
The
forest.
dog. Sorry, Tony, the dog I meant.
Oh, the dog. Oh, okay. The dog is still alive. Yes, the dog is breathing profusely, but it's still alive. It looks up you.
It's
Oh,
probably
wait. This who is the speaking? Cutter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks up at you with kind and eyes that look wanting of a pet and of kindness and love in its moment of
Cutter?
pain and sorrow.
Do you call out to me?
Yes. As I see you standing over the dog, Cotter.
I say, are you going to waste a spell on this thing?
It's suffering now, Cutter. It's suffering so
Not
badly.
this one.
Said not this one?
Not this one.
Not in town.
We have other work to do.
You're just gonna.
Well, he's suffering. I say, cast a
You will
healing
not be
spell. Let me
suffering
finish.
for long.
And so I look at him, and so you don't approach, right? You're not gonna heal it.
Oh, I am approaching. Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I wait.
I'll reach down, place a hand on the dog's back, and I will cast Cure Wounds.
Oh. Oh, okay. So you cure. What a nice thing. Oh, rainbows from the evil party. Okay.
Silver linings.
Who's gonna
Silver
pay
linings.
for that one, Selenar?
Rainbows from the evil party. You heal the dog. What happened? Wait.
Is there any way that Jimmy can get inspiration for that?
Well, I was gonna give you inspiration for deciding to heal the dog. That's actually in the
Well,
module.
I will. If you're going to give me inspiration for that, I would actually like to pass it off to Jimmy for the comment he just made.
Oh, okay. What was the comment? I didn't even see it. I missed it.
As I healed the dog, he looked over at me and he's like, "Who's going to pay for that one, Selenar?"
Oh, that is true. All right. So Jimmy now has inspiration. Cutter, I think he was about to kill it, but he decided not to because you healed it.
I sheath my dagger and I go, very well, and I'm gonna start walking towards the red rock.
All right. So the dog jumps up and it goes over to Selenar and kind of starts rubbing against his leg. And then it kind of just runs off into the night, happily it's gone after it took a pet. What a nice guy you are, Selenar.
I look over at Cutter.
I'm already walking towards the.
Drinking needs to be light tonight because we have to pay a visit to Willie.
I say, did he infer a pass on whatever happens when we find him?
Well, that's the thing. Barnaby is apparently his nephew, but we're going to take him for a nice trip. At least, God. That's what he knows.
Uncle Willie.
We now know where he lives. Do you want to take care of this tonight, or do you want to make it a more opportune moment?
I think I can wait. I crave wine a little bit more than revenge at the moment.
Gotcha.
Well, then let's go get you to drink your fill.
Why do I feel like we're all going to be blamed for this?
All right. So y'all are heading over to the Red Rock Tavern?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. The camera's not on the Red Rock. If JC wants to get it, he can, but for right now, I'm just going to go into it. All right. As you enter the town, a small chuckling cheer from the locals inside goes up from you. Hail the adventurers who made the ale flow again! Kessler approaches you and speaks. Well, that wasn't a huge cheer, but for the crowd in these times, that might as well have been a festival roar. We knew you had succeeded when the first wagon with our Arabellian ale arrived unhindered and untouched. Thank you so much. You are always welcome here. And be careful, my friends, for the dream fever still stalks the streets with its minions, the night dwarves. And with that, she starts to pour you up, and the tavern music starts going off, and the ale starts flowing into the cups. Once I knew it, and all the little half, you see a little halfling jump on the table. He's dancing. All right.
I will be joining. I'll be jumping on a table and drinking and dancing myself.
So everybody's got that, and you're in the bar. Let me ask: does anybody want to do anything while you're in the bar?
I'm gonna put the wolves down across the bar there, the main bar area, and say add these to the stew, and bring them up to our room.
They hand it. The cook comes out after you hand it to him, and he looks at all these carcasses. He looks at you. He realizes you're a Durgar. You could tell he was about to object, and you kind of raise your eyebrow, and he puts his head back down and kind of walks back into the kitchen with it. So you could tell he's starting to cook it.
Mm.
All right.
I've got my nostrils are flared for the smell of it. This like stale meat.
Another person actually was at the bar drinking. They come over to you and let me just pull this up. Hold on. Oops. And he introduces himself as Dolwar. He was actually, he's like, hello, my name is Dolwar. I work at the Leatherworks, and I've heard that you are looking for work. Is that true?
Is he talking
Depends
to
on
me
what you got.
specifically or generally to us?
He's talking to the general. We'll say for right now, he's talking to the general party, just asking everybody. I'd heard that you were looking for work, and I had also, Kessler had said you solved her problems. Perhaps you could solve mine. Again, my name is Dolwar. You can tell me your names afterwards, but it's important that I know before we even get started. Do you think you could help me with my problem with me cows? Me cows have been disappearing.
You mean the ones that you let roam free outside of town?
Ah, yes, there's a pasture there, and I've been wondering, they've disappeared over the last few days, and I'm wondering if someone could go out and be finding what happened to me cows.
We could do it for a small sum of 100 gold.
All right, it doesn't matter at this point. I'm so desperate for anybody's help. I'll give you the damn money. Just tell me if you can find out what happened to my cows and what's been attacking them. I found a few bodies at one time, but not any sign of what could have happened. If you see anything...
I look at the rest of the party, and I just smirk. Lucius.
So, yeah.
You want to bring that out of your bag? Yeah, we took care of your cow problem already, sir. It was a bear.
What?
A large brown bear.
Lucius pulls out a paw.
You already took care of it? What? I knew it!
I keep
100 gold, sir.
I keep dancing and saying, place the gold here.
He kind of like scratches his head, but fine. And as he takes out, he reaches into his pack and he says, this is all I got on me, but fine. And he puts this huge sack down, well, not huge, but it's 100 gold piece. You hear the ching, as it hits
2 pounds
the table.
Of coin.
And he says, I knew it though. I knew it. It's worth it because I knew bears are around these parts, and sometimes they get lazy after a time, and some take to hunting our livestock since it's so easy. Anyway, I guess I won't keep you since I'm sure adventurers like yourself have other business. Here's that pay. Fine. If there be nothing else, you have a good one, mate. And don't forget, if you find any skins or something you're looking to sell or want made into possibly something for you, come on down to Dolwar's Leatherworks. We're always there. We can help you. And don't mind the smell. That's just the piss I use to clean the leather.
What can you make with a bat wing? And he pulls out the giant bat wing that he harvested.
Yeah, this I could make into a nice pouch. I'm sure I could do something with it.
So I immediately start splitting out the gold. Each of us gets 20 gold. Minus what I'm owed from Lucius. How much did you still owe me?
I think I already paid you.
Oh, plus, guys, you also get +1 to your reputation.
Yeah, I paid you already, Selenar.
You did pay the full amount the first time? Okay.
So.
Did you hear me, guys? You get +1 to your reputation.
Ooh.
Got it. Thank you.
They don't do reputation in 5e, but I'm bringing it back. I loved reputation in second edition.
They actually do the faction ranks, which is the new version of reputation.
I like straight reputation, where you walk into a town and you're like, oh my god, there goes so and so, holy crap! All right, so you got +1 to your.
So should I just put that in my inventory? I guess.
I put the reputation. I put it. There's a little square box right underneath like your flaws. There's an empty box, and you just put total reputation.
Class resource.
Yeah, the resources.
All right. Well, just to let you know, we are right about to end. It's like 2 minutes to 9 o'clock. Perfect. It seems like a perfect spot to actually end it. You're in the tavern.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You've gotten your reputation. You've gotten some money. Cutter's passed out already or pissing in the corner somewhere. Selenar sitting back plotting evil with Cutter.
I look around the people in the bar. Everyone, one last thing before we go. Everyone, You see this man right here, and I point to the one that's double fisting bottles of wine, pointing to Cutter. This man will protect each and every one of us in this town. But there's one amongst you who has caused him nothing but grief since we got here. Tonight, drinks are on me. As long as each of you swears to make that bastard Willie miserable.
Man, you all really hate that old man.
Day.
He was just a random character in the module, for Christ's sakes.
You made him important.
Y'all really hate this dude, man. You're gonna go slaughter this old hermit. All right.
I'll start passing out the pitchforks and torches.
Any night that we are in this tavern, drinks will be on me if you can come to me with a story of how you have made Willie's life miserable.
Well, you get free drinks anyway from Kessler. Remember, that was the deal.
Individually. I'm paying for everyone else in the bar.
Oh, okay, all right.
How much is that going to cost?
I'm talking to all the other patrons.
Ah, gotcha. All right. Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say about the Batwing. I was like, how about I just sell it to you for 5 gold pieces? You can make it for somebody else.
I don't need Batwing. I deal in leather, but I was going to do you a favor. But no, I don't need it. Sorry, son. Not interested in a Batwing.
It's a fine fabric.
I am sure it is, but I don't have many people always coming and asking for batskin pouch. I mean, let's be honest.
And he goes, okay, very, very well. Let's make a pouch for my alchemical ingredients. You'll find it's going to be very... I believe you'll be a fine craftsman.
That will cost you 2 gold pieces. You come bring it down to Dowar's. I'll take it now, and I'll have it delivered to you at the inn later when it's done. But that will be very 2 gold pieces.
Very well.
All right. So he takes that and says, I'll get it back to you another day. I'm enjoying my drink for right now. And he goes back to drinking his ale and everything else. We're going to end it, guys. They're in the tavern, so they can start RPing as soon as we come back. Our next session is a perfect spot to end it. Before we go, I just want to remind everybody, if you can, please follow us on Patreon or on here. You can check out our previous episodes on YouTube. To all the people who have subscribed today, I don't know if there was 5 subscribers today, and I didn't realize it, then I will definitely dance next session. I will go ahead and put on the outfit and the wig, and I will sing whatever song, no matter how cheesy it is, that you want me to sing. I just don't know if we got that many subs. I wasn't looking. Also,
I think you should sing WAP.
Oh my! No, I'm not singing WAP. Oh my God!
You said no matter how embarrassing, and if the chat decides you're going to sing WAP,
that's beyond embarrassing. That's just straight up like nasty song. that's rough. But if that's what the stream votes on, and that's what they want to hear, we'll do it. Well, remind you again to all subscribers, all supporters on Patreon here. We appreciate all the people just turning in and viewing. That is great as well. We appreciate all the support that we've been getting. Thank Wargaming Recon for promoting us. Thank Monkey Paw Clothing for sending us. Thank you Stat Trackers. If you want to hire us for one of your own games, you can reach out to us on Facebook or go to lookingforgm.com or startplayinggames.com. We are up there both as Nerdbauchery, so you can hire us for a virtual game, and then it's private, so you can do whatever you want, and we can make it run longer, whatever the case may be. And
once again, thank you, Tabletop Santa, for your tips tonight. It was greatly appreciated.
Yep, anybody who tipped or subscribed tonight, thank you. Just because I don't mention every name during the stream does not mean you're not appreciated. It's just I'm focused on trying to do this performance and keeping track of everything else in the players, so it's hard for me to engage all the time at the stream. But we do have a moderator who helps, as well as some of the players who are able to do a little bit more than I can do. Also, don't forget to tune in next week on Saturday the 7th. It will be the Good Team. You'll be able to watch them play, and they'll be on. They are a little bit ahead of these guys, like probably about few hours into the module. Other than that, that is it. Follow us on, join our Discord, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are everywhere. We appreciate it. And if you want to buy any of these modules that we have specifically created from 2nd edition to 5th edition, modules you won't be able to get anywhere else, you can reach us to that as well. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye. I think we're going to...
Peace, everybody. Happy Halloween.
Bye-bye. It's going to take us a second to turn off anyway, so
yeah, of course.
I'll do a...
Make sure you check your candy. And to send it to us.
Yeah. check your candy for booze and then eat those ones.
Yes.
Be safe.
Happy Halloween.
And yeah, if you guys join our Discord, you'll actually get a chance to interact with us and let us know more about what you want to see. We want you to interact in the chat. We want to talk with you guys. So, don't be strangers.
Yeah,
As you
I
can
like when
tell,
there's
we
an active
are.
chat. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Scheme with us.
we take our fans seriously, and we want to see as much of you as we can.
Yep.
So come chat with us.
Yeah, because I'm on Discord a lot during the day. I check it. I check our Facebook constantly. I'm always
Spamming
up on
the
all
chat
that
with it
stuff.
right now.
Oh, and we're also going to be starting a new stream soon where I'll be playing Baldur's Gate 3 with some people. I'm just waiting to find one more person to play with online who has the game. And once I do that...
And starting up on Sundays, we're also...
That's right. Yep. That game... And that game will be a little bit different. I think he's going to be using a really cool program. I think it's Foundry. Yeah, so you're not going to get the Dwarven Forge, but you will get an awesome program that Rich has put a lot of work into making it his own kind of and really adding some really cool additions in there that you're not going to see anywhere else. All right, so... And I might even play in that stream, but I'm busy trying to write another module right now, as well as a module for a charity that we're going to be doing for Mallory's Army in a few weeks. All right, thank you guys. Yep, we'll be doing that. I'll get more into that in a later date, though. All right, guys, we will go ahead and sign off. JC, can you sign us off? Bye-bye. Can you sign us off, JC?